Flow of Genius+Semi invincible+Giant multi-body+Omnipotent Genius+Avatar in front of people+Fourth Scourge, survival or adventure. Coming to Qin Tian, who devours the starry sky, of course, choosing both is necessary. The first genius in the universe. Sorry, I have unlimited clone talent stacked, let's see who is the genius. The most beautiful woman in the universe. Sorry, just a quick squeeze. The strongest ethnic group in the universe. Sorry, I am a clone of the same realm, the master of millions of universes. I ask if you are afraid or not. Practice as a clone, while lying flat, Qin Tian, are still your unattainable goal. Qin Tian said, the enemy who has been defeated in my hands is never seen as an opponent by me. I give you time to catch up until you can't see them from afar. Luo Feng. Big Brother is the goal I will always pursue. Keywords of the novel. Infinite Avatar without pop-ups, Infinite Avatar of the Starry Sky TXT Complete Collection Download, latest chapter reading of Infinite Avatar of the Starry Sky. Chapter 1, Travel Through, Plug to Account. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1, Travel Through, External Cheating to Account, no. In a luxurious villa. On the sofa made of high-quality leather, a young man woke up in a cold sweat. There was a look of fear in his eyes. His clothes were even wetted by cold sweat. Suddenly, his head was splitting with a headache, and the young man finally came to his senses. Me, where am I? The young man looked around and couldn't help but see that it was a very luxurious villa. As the young man looked around, many memories suddenly popped up in his mind. The young man screamed in pain, covering his head. A feeling of swelling and tearing from the soul surged into the heart. After an unknown amount of time, the young man lay weakly on the sofa, looking at the bright ceiling with both eyes. At this moment, he finally digested the memories that had emerged in his mind. The Nirvana RR Virus Warrior. Monster Extreme Martial Arts School, is this devouring the starry sky? It seems like I've read a novel. Have I traveled through it, and even into the world where the novel devours the starry sky? The young man's heart went from confusion to excitement. Traversing. It seems that in that memory, it is something many people dream of. Based on those memory fragments, it can be inferred that I am not from this world. Qin Tian thought to himself. Alas, the memories before traveling are too vague, and there is too little useful information. And the original soul of this body is unknown, but what's unique is that this body, also known as Qin Tian, seems to be a wealthy second generation. But why doesn't he have any other memories about this body in his mind? I just remember that this body should have the same name as myself, and it seems like a wealthy second generation, and then I don't know anything. Forget it. Since you can't think of it, then forget it. Qin Tian is not someone who likes to nitpick. After adjusting his mentality, Qin Tian quickly accepted everything, adhering to the principle of, settle as you come. Although there is still some excitement in my heart. Especially when it comes to understanding, open the phone and check the information. This is not Jiangnan Bay City, but Kyoto Bay City, in early January 2056. The timeline is still before Luo Feng's rise, which means he has enough time to protect himself before the crises that come to mind in the future. Later, Qin Tian opened his bank account. I checked the bank balance. Qin Tian didn't even know why he knew the password, he just thought it should be this, so he entered it. Look at a string of numbers inside. 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 1 billion. Nearly 3 billion Chinese coins. However, doesn't Qin Tian have a system? According to the information in those memories, shouldn't all travelers have a system? Do you think you have a very strong talent? No, It seems like Qin Tian tried to move the cup on the table with his mind. I just stared at it for a while, and the cup just shook slightly. At this moment, a voice sounded, interrupting Qin Tian's spell casting. Ding! Infinite clone summoning system binding. With a mechanical sound, Qin Tian suddenly felt a connection with something in his mind. Qin Tian was stunned for a moment, then a strong surprise flashed on his face. System. The legendary standard system for travelers. As a message was transmitted into Qin Tian's mind, he also understood the functions of this system. The system can create clones. This clone is a system clone, not split from his Qin Tian body, but exchanged from the system space and formed into a system rule. And the clone is used to return and exchange with something recognized by the system. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully binding the infinite clone summoning system. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the beginner gift pack. Randomly activate a permanent clone initial function. The sound rang out, and Qin Tian saw a large gift package rapidly changing colors in front of him. White, blue, purple, orange, red, and gold, disorderly and disorganized. Qin Tian instantly understood the meaning and quickly washed his hands clean. Although I'm not sure why I did it, I instinctively did it. I prayed inexplicably in my heart. God bless me. Then I clicked on it. Instantly, the color freezes. Buzz! A burst of piercing golden light washed away. Qin Tian was pleasantly surprised. Gold. It's gold. That brilliant gold. Ding! Congratulations to the host for drawing the Golden Legend level permanent initial ability. Independently editable. What does clone editing mean? Qin Tian was somewhat surprised. And soon he understood. Because in front of him, a phantom black figure rapidly changed with his thoughts. As long as he imagines an image in his mind, the clone can appear according to that image. Men, women, all ages, and even non-human races are acceptable. Gulong. Qin Tian swallowed his saliva and his eyes shot out a dazzling expression. This is good. However, Qin Tian was a bit conflicted. What should the first clone look like? In his thinking, many images appeared in Qin Tian's mind. When a picture flashed through his mind, Qin Tian was inexplicably attracted to it. Then I determined the template, started fabricating it, and clicked on generate, but suddenly realized that it couldn't be generated. After searching for a while, I realized that there was a symbol below the system with a clone balance of 0. System, why is the balance of this clone 0? How can I obtain the clone? Qin Tian remained silent for a moment and then asked. A segment of electronic sound effect sounds. Ding! During the beginner benefit period, the host can spend Huaxia coins to purchase and exchange for regular clones. The situation will depend on the situation after the benefit period. Secondly, the host can descend consciousness to other clones. Thirdly, the summoned avatar possesses 100% of the host's realm strength, rules, and martial arts insights, and will increase with the increase of the host's level talent. Fourth, the clone will be injured, but it can block pain. After death, it will automatically return to the system and resurrect after 24 hours. Fifthly, after the clone is exchanged, it will be unified as the Black Shadow Man. This clone disregards restrictions such as prohibitions and formations, similar to the void body. Note: only when the Black Shadow Man is available. After all, shadows are invincible, refer to the Black Shadow Core. Sixth, clones can be transformed into gene points to increase the host's gene level, note. The highest can be increased to. Seventh, the system space can be shared between the clone and the host. For each additional clone, the system space will expand by 1 by 1 by 1. Note: it can accommodate living creatures. After understanding the information provided by the system, Qin Tian calmed down. Then he became excited again. According to the system information, this clone is completely against the heavens. Feeling the reversal of the system, Qin Tian was extremely excited in his heart. He had just realized that when he crossed over, he was afraid that he would not be able to survive in this world. But now we have an infinite clone system. Survive, no. What I want is to dominate the universe. Think about it in the future, having 1 million or even 1 billion clones, all of which have the same realm as oneself, who can beat oneself. Just imagination, I feel scared, not myself, but the enemy. Of course, all of this is based on a sufficiently high level of one's own realm. System, how can I obtain other abilities besides the clone's ability to edit freely? Qin Tian was not overwhelmed by excitement, but instead thought of the golden ability he had just won in the lottery. Ding, every time the host breaks through a great realm, they will receive a lottery opportunity. Is that so? It means that according to the level of devouring the starry sky, I can get 9 opportunities, which is 9 abilities, when I reach the Lord of the Universe. Of course, one must also cultivate oneself to the Master of the Universe. Qin Tian has another bold idea. Use a clone to conceive the Golden Horn Giant, and then use the Golden Horn Giant's innate secret technique clone to conceive other creatures. Although in the original work, Luo Feng failed to conceive the Golden Horn Giant using the Golden Horn Giant's talent in secret technique clone. But having a clone of oneself can be used as a doll. I really deserve it. This way, I can get system bugs. Only oneself can come up with such a clever idea, After organizing his emotions, Qin Tian looked at the beginner benefit redemption list in the system. The clearly visible exchange price above is 100 million Chinese coins for a clone. This is still due to the benefits for beginners. Qin Tian clicked on the exchange and found that his account balance on his phone had changed from 2 small targets to 1 small target. Sure enough, although I don't know how the system deducts it, changing the account balance directly without being detected will not result in any abnormalities. What is this called? It's called thoughtfulness, so others won't be able to find out how their money disappeared, and they may even think that Qin Tian's balance is already so much. Qin Tian looked at the system panel and saw that the line behind the clone balance had indeed changed from 0 to 1. Indicates having a clone. Just as Qin Tian continued to click the redemption button. But a prompt popped up, indicating that the redemption has reached the limit. Qin Tian suddenly became confused and quickly inquired about the system. Then Qin Tian learned that because he is currently only an intermediate student, he can only exchange one at this stage. You need to upgrade to the next level of apprenticeship to unlock more clones. Looking at the editing page in the system panel, a dark figure stood among them. Okay, there's no way the system rules are like this. Then the next step is to consider the next plan. End of this chapter. Chapter 2, Avatar Moon Chan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2, Avatar Moon Chan. After Qin Tian understood the introduction of the system's usage functions, my gaze shifted to the dark figure. With Qin Tian's imagination in his heart, the black shadow figure began to become more vivid. Then, as Qin Tian finished editing the last point, click Finish. Resurrect, mine. Ahem. The first clone. As Qin Tian's voice fell, the character images that were originally on the system panel interface began to slowly appear in real life. From the originally illusory figure, it slowly solidifies in the end. In the blink of an eye, a living fairy named Yu Chan appeared. Her skin is more beautiful than snow, her delicate face, perfect curves, straight long legs, and impressive. That fairy-like temperament perfectly meets Qin Tian's aesthetic standards, where one should be fat and where one should be thin. Qin Tian was momentarily stunned. It has to be said that Qin Tian's craftsmanship is very good, and the Moon Chan is exactly the same as that in the previous animation. Moreover, this individual can be edited freely, and can be formed directly in the mind with consciousness, and is not afraid of deformation. Looking at the perfect person in front of me, Qin Tian suddenly had a bold idea in his heart anyway, it's my own clone, so I shouldn't break the law. As for whether someone will call me a pervert, as long as I don't say it, who knows? In such self-comfort, Qin Tian extended his sinful hands, although the only remaining bit of reason in my mind tells me, no, this is my own clone, you need to. Qin Tian timely stopped the car on the edge of danger. At this moment, it seemed to be influenced by Qin Tian's movements, and Yuchan slowly opened her beautiful eyes. My eyes are like autumn water, but my gaze is a bit confused and not very intelligent. Qin Tian also saw the confused eyes of Yuchan. This month's Chan is not without wisdom, is it? Just as Qin Tian was reciting the Qingxin mantra and thinking about it. Suddenly, only an ethereal and pleasant sound could be heard in my ears. Yuchan spoke up. Master, the sound was crisp and pleasant, like the sound of a fairy. Although it was still a bit raw, it added a touch of fun. Upon hearing this voice, Qin Tian felt that his rationality was on the brink of collapse. Even his rock-solid nature. Well, he doesn't. But just as Qin Tian struggled to control himself and warned himself that it was his own clone and to be normal, I saw Yuchan's beautiful voice continue to speak intermittently. Anyway, Yuchan hasn't finished speaking yet. Qin Tian's rationality was completely lost. The sound of the system is ringing in my ears. Ding, the host misunderstood. Ding, please stop this behavior from the host. Ding, ZZ. 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 Qin Tian watched as the system kept popping up beeps and curiously glanced at the information introduction panel. Then Qin Tian blushed. What Yuchan wanted to say earlier was to make him aware. In this way, Yuchan can obtain information synchronization awareness, which is the common sense of life. Because each clone is created as an independent individual, like a newborn baby, with a pure soul like white paper. As the owner of the clone, Qin Tian can choose to let it grow on its own or endow it with wisdom, and the clone can be edited freely, and its personality can also be set. Simply put, it means omitting the process of growth, transitioning from infancy to adulthood, giving those foundational knowledge to clones, and then endowing them with different personalities. It's just that Qin Tian misunderstood, although he doesn't know what Qin Tian understood. Close the system panel. Subsequently, Qin Tian looked at Yuchan, who had a graceful figure beside him, and through some kind of connection, his consciousness entered Yuchan's mind. At this moment, Yuchan, lying in bed, suddenly opened her eyes and looked at Qin Tian lying flat beside her. Is this me? At this moment, Qin Tian felt that besides being able to control his own body, he could also control Yuchan's body, giving him a strange feeling of dual purpose. Simultaneously controlling both sides of the body, without any discomfort. Just like Yuchan's body is her own, without any discomfort. Qin Tian immediately returned to his body. Then look at Yuchan again. At this moment, there was no longer a hint of confusion in Yuchan's eyes. That's just what that rosy cheeks mean. Qin Tian didn't have to worry about any awkwardness anymore. After all, Yuchan could be said to be a real living individual now. He quickly got out of bed and found a white dress from his mother's wardrobe. Give it to Yuchan to wear. Looking at Yuchan's ketone body while she was dressing, Qin Tian could only leave a sentence in order not to continue being a pervert. Get dressed and come to the living room to find me. He hurriedly picked up his clothes and left the bedroom. Qin Tian sat on the sofa in the living room, watching the huge LCD TV screen. Originally, it only needed one's own permission to endow it with wisdom. Qin Tian suddenly thought of it. Is there any issue with Yuchan's identity in the system? Ding, host, please resolve it yourself. Upon hearing such irresponsible words from the system, my face immediately turned black. It seems that one still has to solve the identity problem of the clone on their own. Fortunately, there are still orphans in this world, and it should not be difficult to forge an identity with those few small targets. As long as there are no violations or laws, it should be no problem to become a warrior and obtain an identity certificate. And it seems that my identity has been resolved. Let's define it as an orphan for now, although this orphan has a bit of a small amount of money. Subsequently, Qin Tian began some follow-up plans. After all, he hasn't fully understood many things when he came to this world. After all, it's a real world now, not the kind of novel or anime, and there must be many details that he doesn't know. At the same time, he was also thinking whether this was a dream, those inexplicable memories, and why he came to this world, and why this body had no consciousness, only scattered information about this world. Oh, no, when Qin Tian felt his body, he suddenly realized that he had, a silver white ball in his mind, emitting a silver mist flowing down his tendons and veins to his limbs and bones. Is this a talent for spiritual teachers? Subsequently, Qin Tian confirmed again and again that he possessed the talent of a spiritual master. He was overjoyed, although he was unsure whether the silver white sphere could support his cultivation to the star level. But what can be certain is that he should not be so short of resources in the early stage. The spiritual master grew up very quickly and was very rare. All major forces would try their best to attract him, and he would not even waste resources. After thinking for a moment, this should be the result of the original owner of this body being unable to bear the news of their parents' sacrifice and experiencing a burst of mental energy. Then, due to the arrival of Qin Tian, they absorbed that mental energy, which led to this. After calming down his mood, Qin Tian began to think about his next plan. At this moment, Yuchan came down and Qin Tian, who was thinking, accidentally glanced at her 3 hours later. Returning to the main storyline, Qin Tian has two plans now. One is to go to Jiangnan base city and meet Luo Feng. Utilize the legacy of their former parents to quickly break through to senior students, and even apprentices to unlock more clones and abilities. At present, it is early January 2056, and the college entrance examination is from June 6 to June 7. That means there is still one semester left. There is still over a month left until the start of the school year. July 1st is the assessment for quasi-warriors. There is enough time. After packing up, I successfully purchased a plane ticket from Kyoto base city to Jiangnan base city. It has to be said that this plane ticket is really expensive. It costs 10 million per person. The next day, after packing his luggage, Qin Tian left Kyoto base city with Yuchan. Looking out the window at the pure white clouds and the dazzling sun, Qin Tian believed that in the future, his name would surely resound throughout the earth, and even the starry sky and the universe. Swallowing the starry sky, I, Qin Tian, come. Folding line content just as Qin Tian was holding down his gun and thinking. Suddenly, Yuchan spoke up. Master, the sound is clear and pleasant, like the sound of a fairy, although it is still somewhat raw. Upon hearing this voice, Qin Tian felt that his rationality was on the brink of collapse. Even his rock-solid nature. Well, he doesn't. But just as Qin Tian struggled to control himself, I saw Yuchan speaking intermittently. Master Jin, I. Anyway, Yuchan hasn't finished speaking yet. Qin Tian. End of this chapter. Chapter 3, Luo Feng. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3, Luo Feng. The sky is deep blue, like a huge piece of blue jade, and the summer sun is like a big fireball, hanging high in this huge piece of jade. Ian District 3rd High School. Ding 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 classmates, it's time for class. Please quickly return to the classroom and prepare for class. As the class bell rang, it echoed throughout the entire campus. At this moment, in the class where Luo Feng is located, the teacher stands on the podium, looking at the students below, and solemnly says, "Classmates, this is the last and most crucial semester. Next, we have a new student in our class. Let's invite him to introduce himself to everyone. Let's applaud and welcome him." As soon as the teacher finished speaking on the podium, a man and a woman walked in outside the classroom, holding hands. Men, although not very handsome, surpassed 99% of people in the classroom. The students all widened their eyes and looked at the girl on the podium. It seems like they are all crazy about it. There was only one young man wearing a regular blue sportswear, about 1.75 meters tall, who was relatively thin. After a slight moment of confusion, he immediately regained his senses. Qin Tian noticed this scene with sharp eyes. I think that must be Luo Feng. After leaving Kyoto base city, Qin Tian came to Jiangnan base city. Then, with a little money, I successfully transferred to the 3rd high school in Ian district, and specifically requested to enter the class where Luo Feng is located. The principal also agreed to this matter, looking at the face of Huaxia coin. And found Luo Feng's address at school and moved to a nearby area. Qin Tian introduced himself and also introduced Yu Chan, this is just his sister, and then pulled Yu Chan to the back seat of Luo Feng. After all, he came here to establish a good relationship with Luo Feng. In the following time, besides attending regular classes, Qin Tian followed Luo Feng to the Extreme Martial Arts School for training. That's right, it's the Extreme Martial Arts School. Since the arrival of Kyoto Bay City, Qin Tian hasn't done anything. He used his remaining money to buy a lot of meat and transferred his information from the Thunderbolt Martial Arts School to the Extreme Martial Arts School. However, the inheritance left by his parents is also about to be used up. Alas, in his previous life, giving it 10 million or even a few million feels like it can be spent for a long time. I didn't expect that a few small goals would disappear in 6 months here. In the blink of an eye, 4 months have passed. On the road leading to the Extreme Martial Arts School, Qin Tian and Luo Feng walked side by side. Wei Wen said he didn't come today because he had something to do, but Qin Tian knew that Wei Wen decided to try to study martial arts seriously because he thought it was not good enough. He couldn't get into the first military academy, but the second military academy could still give it a try. Qin Tian, are you sure you won't take the college entrance examination? Luo Feng looked at Qin Tian with his hands behind his head, indifferent. Upon hearing this, Qin Tian put down his hand and placed it on Luo Feng's shoulder, then said. Ah Feng, you also know that I don't like those who learn geometry and prove things, which makes my brain ache. Even if I take the exam, I won't be able to achieve good results. It's better to continue training and step into the level of a quasi-warrior as soon as possible. Take the quasi-warrior assessment and become a warrior. Upon hearing Qin Tian's words, Luo Feng looked at him somewhat absent-mindedly, then shook his head and said. Warriors. Upon hearing this vocabulary, even Luo Feng's heart couldn't help but feel an indescribable palpitations. That is a transcendent existence. Never mind, it's up to you. But if you keep progressing at your pace, you might actually pass the assessment and become a martial artist. In these 4 months, Qin Nina has truly utilized all the available resources. In addition to normal meat consumption, I also helped the Luo Feng family and improved their lives. Originally, Luo Feng had some excuses, but Qin Tian successfully blocked Luo Feng's mouth by asking him to help him train as a tutor. All of this was meticulously calculated by Qin Tian, and the money was basically spent before the assessment of the quasi-warrior. With the help of his talent as a spiritual teacher, Qin Tian has increased from an intermediate student weighing 448 kilograms when he first arrived to a senior student weighing 888 kilograms now. This increase in speed shocked Luo Feng, mainly because Qin Tian had almost used all his resources, otherwise there wouldn't have been such a terrifying increase in speed. People often cannot fully control the strength of their bodies. In general, ordinary students are able to exert 50% to 60% of their muscle strength, which is already remarkable. This is not the stacked dark power of the nine-fold thunder blade, it is just a basic force with higher control over the body. There are many muscles in the human body, and not everyone can exert all the strength of their muscles. There are many muscles in the human body that, due to lack of active control, can only exert force according to instincts and cannot actively enhance strength. Qin Tian possesses a talent for spiritual mindfulness and has awakened, and his level of control over his body muscles is naturally far beyond human comparison. So exert more muscle strength, so as to achieve higher punching power. Extreme Martial Arts School, the largest martial arts school on Earth, was founded by the world's strongest person, Hong. Various martial arts schools are spread all over the world. Drip. Student card. I swiped my student ID at the main entrance of the Martial Arts Academy, and Luo Feng and Qin Tian entered the academy. A extreme martial arts school is like a huge monster lurking there, occupying an area even larger than a high school. The main entrance of the martial arts school is enough for 10 cars to enter in parallel. Inside the Martial Arts Academy, there are 3 giant silver-white buildings that resemble 3 spaceships. Senior brother. Hello, senior brother. On the road inside the Martial Arts Academy, on the lawn, there are a large number of Martial Arts Academy students. These students immediately showed great respect and they saw the senior student ID cards hanging on the chest of Luo Feng and Qin Tian. Inside the martial arts school, there are 3 giant buildings, namely the Junior Student Teaching Building, the Intermediate Student Teaching Building, and the Senior Student Teaching Building. Among them, the first and second floors of the Senior Student Teaching Building are all large teaching halls, and each large teaching hall is capable of accommodating thousands of people. The teachers of the martial arts school all give lectures in this large teaching hall. There are approximately 30,000 to 40,000 students in the entire extreme martial arts school. At the age of 16, one can only become a martial arts school student to study. After the age of 30, it is prohibited to come to the martial arts school to study and occupy teaching resources. There are over 100 senior students in the entire martial arts school. Most of them are in their 20s. Both Luo Feng and Qin Tian are only 18 years old. Hello, senior brother. Luo Feng listened to respectful shouts all the way and entered the 3rd floor of the Senior Student Teaching Building, which was the only place for senior students to enter. On the 3rd floor, there is a large martial arts training hall that is 100 meters long and wide, and there are more than 10 people at this time. Oh, crazy, monster. Monster, crazy person, I came a bit late today. As soon as they entered this large martial arts training hall, these dozen or so senior students warmly greeted each other. Brother Wang, Brother Yang, Sister Li, Luo Feng shouted with a smile, and Qin Tian went straight over and hooked his shoulders. These dozen or so people are all over 20 years old, and Luo Feng and Qin Tian are naturally the youngest. Of course, there are more than a dozen senior students at the Extreme Martial Arts School in Ian District, and the total number of senior students exceeds 100. But usually there are no teachers to teach, and most people are too lazy to come. Unless one's family is poor and there is no place to practice, they will come to the martial arts training hall of the martial arts school to practice. As for Qin Tian, due to Luo Feng's relationship, everyone is also quite familiar, but what impressed everyone the most was Qin Tian's progress speed. One thing a day. Every day, my martial arts skills are increasing steadily, and in just 4 months, I have progressed from an intermediate level student to a senior level student, almost reaching the level of a quasi-warrior. It's just a monster. So that's how his address comes from. After chatting with a few people, Luo Feng and Qin Tian walked towards the punch testing machine. Often, come on first. You've been training quite hard lately, so you should have grown quite a bit. Qin Tian smiled and said. Luo Feng glanced at Qin Tian and asked in reverse. How much growth can there be like you, this monster? After speaking, Luo Feng ignored Qin Tian and adjusted his breathing. The whole person completely relaxed, and suddenly his gaze fixed. He felt like a lazy lion suddenly rising up, and his spine tightened like a bowstring. His feet exerted force to his waist and hips, and it was transmitted through his spine. Luo Feng's right fist was like a burst of shells, cutting through an arc, peng. A collision sound sounded, and the target line remained motionless, but a string of numbers appeared on it. 887 kilograms, oh, madman, it's not bad. It's so high. It seems like they'll catch up with me soon, Qin Tian joked and threw a bottle of water to Luo Feng. You should know that in the original work, Luo Feng could only produce 809 kilograms at this time, but now he is 78 kilograms more than in the original work. All of this was the result of Qin Tian inviting Luo Feng to his home to eat meat and train together. After all, it is impossible for Luo Feng's family to have a meal full of meat, which leads to Luo Feng's inability to maximize his body's nutrition into strength. Luo Feng took the water thrown by Qin Tian, opened it and took a sip, then said. Don't just talk about me, it's all thanks to your help. I've only made such rapid progress. As for you, in your last test, you reached 888 kilograms. This time, you should be able to break through 900 kilograms. Qin Tian smiled and walked up to the punching machine. The next moment, Qin Tian's gaze became sharp, and his muscles worked together. His right hand punched out. 999 kilograms. Sure enough, you have met the requirements for the quasi-warrior assessment, said Luo Feng with a knowing expression. After all, the last test was 888 kilograms, so it's been so long and it's impossible to stand still. Subsequently, the two of them tested their speed and neural response. Qin Tian has met the assessment requirements, while Luo Feng, although not yet, is not much behind. Power 888 kilograms, speed 24.9 meters per second, excellent neural response. By July 1st, you should be able to fully meet the assessment requirements. Just as the two of them finished testing, a middle-aged man dressed in black and bald walked over. The mental mind of the protagonist is like a silver ball, which I wrote earlier. There may be most of the parts written in dark gold, as long as everyone can understand. There are too many parts, so I didn't make any changes. Please understand. End of this chapter. Chapter 4, Qualification for Martial Arts Assessment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4, Qualification for Martial Arts Assessment. After Luo Feng and Qin Tian finished the test, a middle-aged man in black with a bald head came to the testing field. The middle-aged man with a bald head and black clothes is the owner of this extreme martial arts school, Jiang Nian, and the most powerful figure. According to the rules of the extreme martial arts school, students refer to him as the instructor. Instructor. Luo Feng saluted and shouted. Instructor Jiang Nian laughed and shouted, I didn't expect you, Luo Feng, to have made such rapid progress lately. You are almost meeting the requirements for martial arts assessment. So the person next to you is Qin Tian, who is called a monster by other colleges. You are truly a monster. They said that when you first came, you were a beginner who transferred from the Thunderbolt Martial Arts School 4 months ago. Now you have already met the requirements of a martial artist. The Thunderbolt Martial Arts School knows you can't cry to death. Haha. Jiang Nian smiled and looked at Qin Tian. Qin Tian, you should be 18 years old. Otherwise, you won't take the college entrance examination this year. What's the use of going to school? You can focus on preparing for the practical assessment of martial artists now. After all, the period from 16 to 30 years old is the time when martial artists progress the fastest, and the older they age later, the more difficult it is to make progress. Instead of wasting 4 years of youth in college, it's better to become a warrior directly. Qin Tian groped his chin and knew about Jiang Nian, but, instructor, don't you need to participate in the quasi-warrior assessment? Qin Tian asked. Suddenly, Jiang Nian laughed and said with a loud laugh. You have already exceeded the requirements of a martial artist. Just take the martial artist assessment directly. And now I invite you to join the Extreme Martial Arts School. I will make the decision, so that you don't have to participate in the quasi-martial artist assessment and can directly obtain the 5 hearts towards heaven cultivation method. However, you still need to go to the martial arts assessment, otherwise your exclusive account cannot be activated. In addition, as long as you become a warrior of my extreme martial arts school, I will arrange a detached villa in the best place for you. Of course, you are not allowed to sell this detached villa. And there is also a monthly base salary of 20,000 Chinese yuan. How's it going? Qin Tian suddenly smiled and said. Tell me earlier, Teacher Jiang. I had this plan in mind, and I didn't even plan to go for the college entrance examination this time. You said, oh, Teacher Jiang, you can't go back on your word. Then I'll join the extreme martial arts school. Watching Qin Tian join the extreme martial arts school like this and even participate in the martial arts assessment. Although Luo Feng had known such a result in his heart, he couldn't help but be shocked, and at the same time, he was genuinely proud of Qin Tian. Jiang Yan finished speaking about Qin Tian and looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng, your progress rate is also very fast. Among our Ian District Extreme Martial Arts School, besides Qin Tian, you should be considered the one who has made the fastest progress now. You entered my extreme martial arts school at the age of 16, and now you are almost 18 years old. You are on the verge of breaking through the martial arts world. I believe that according to your current progress rate, it won't be long before you meet the standards for martial arts assessment. Similarly, as long as you meet this standard, I will give you the same treatment as Qin Tian. Luo Feng, who had not thought much about it before, was also excited when he heard Jiang Yan's words. Martial arts, being above ordinary people is also his childhood goal. But Luo Feng quickly calmed down and said to Jiang Yan. Instructor Jiang, although I really want to agree to you, I have worked hard and studied hard for 12 years, just for this day. Even if I have to participate in the martial arts assessment in the end, I still want to take the college entrance examination, in order not to leave any regrets. Luo Feng looked firmly at Jiang Yan. That resolute gaze was bright and lively. Jiang Yan seemed to want to say something, but after some thought, he said. Indeed, I should also give you an explanation for your 12 years of hard work. It's okay, my extreme martial arts school will be waiting for you here. After all, it seems that I am still the chief inspector of the college entrance examination, and I'm not afraid of you running away. Then Jiang Yan left with a smile. Just Luo Feng felt a sense of recklessness and arrogance from the laughter by the river. In addition, Qin Tian has been instilling some knowledge of martial arts in his ears for the past few months. He is not the kind of novice who doesn't understand anything. Luo Feng instinctively clenched his fist. Warrior, I will definitely become a warrior. Qin Tian watched this scene from the side and knew that his goal had been achieved. After returning home, Yuchan had already prepared the food. Just wait for Qin Tian to come back. Like a virtuous wife. There's no way, having a clone is good. You can't move anything on your own. Looking at this fairy-like woman, unfortunately, this is his clone. Well, the clone is also human. As long as she has self-awareness, why say she is not human? Not an independent individual. It's just that this body has some relationship with Qin Tian. As for what relationship, as long as he doesn't say it, who can know? The reason why Qin Tian was able to make such rapid progress is not only due to his talent as a spiritual teacher. I often engage in sparring with Yuchan. Because our hearts are already connected, this feeling of fighting against ourselves is wonderful, and we can clearly feel some of our weaknesses. Ad has been corrected. His body and sword techniques have been greatly improved. Especially in terms of body method, it has reached the level of entering micro. Qin Tian sat on the bed, not even looking at Yuchan beside him, because there was one more important thing, practicing the 5 hearts towards heaven. Today, I received Jiang Yan's promise and the 5 hearts to heaven cultivation method. Finally, I can practice. After completing the cultivation, I can directly enter the war god training camp after revealing my spiritual talent. Qin Tian sat cross-legged on the bed, with his feet crossed and facing upwards, his hands placed on his legs with the palms facing upwards, and his waist and back straight. According to the cultivation method of 5 hearts towards heaven, starting cultivation can generally meet the physical fitness requirements of martial artists, and most people can start practicing genetic original abilities. Qin Tian took a deep breath. In order to absorb the slightest energy in the universe, he must first sense this energy. This energy is distributed throughout the earth, even in the universe and starry sky. The vast majority of humans are completely unaware of the existence of these energies. As long as it can achieve induction, it will be easy to absorb. A typical genius character can sense the cosmic energy on their first day of cultivation. However, for martial artists with weaker talents, it takes a year and a half to simply sense the cosmic energy. Their original clone even sensed the cosmic energy in just 3 minutes and absorbed it for 4 hours, which is even longer than what Luo Feng absorbed in the original work. Qin Tian adjusted his breathing and then maintained a 5-heart upward position, where the 5 hearts refer to 2 soles of the feet, 2 palms, and the Baihui acupoint on the top of the head. Breath, suck. Qin Tian's breathing gradually calmed down, controlling himself and making his heart quiet. The body should be relaxed, and the 5 hearts should naturally face the sky. The heart should be calm as the mirror of the lake. But unfortunately, Qin Tian's heart did not calm down, and images flashed through his mind one by one. There is a past life, there is this life. 1 minute, 2 minutes. 30 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours, Why can't I sense it? Qin Tian looked at Yu Chan beside him. 3 hours later Qin Tian sat cross-legged on the bed again, began practicing the 5 hearts towards heaven, closed his eyes, and began to calm his mind again, sensing cosmic energy. Time passes by minute by second, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes gradually. Qin Tian in this mode with his eyes closed and almost in a meditative state, Qin Tian finally seemed to have forgotten everything and could only sense the desire emanating from his body. The feeling of longing is becoming stronger and stronger. Finally, Qin Tian unconsciously spoke out. It's so comfortable. Qin Tian, who was almost in a state of sleep, vaguely sensed a faint breath passing through his feet, palms, and Baihui acupoints on his head, gradually flowing into his body at an extremely slow speed. Without Qin Tian's knowledge, the body spontaneously absorbs cosmic energy, but the speed at which this body spontaneously absorbs cosmic energy is a bit slow. This feeling is like being embraced by my mother. Warm and happy. At the beginning, cosmic energy was like a crack in a water pipe, slowly leaking into the Qin celestial body. But as Qin Tian continued to absorb, the crack in the water pipe grew larger, like a small stream of water constantly flowing into the Qin celestial body. Ah! A trembling sensation that emanated from the depths of his bone marrow made Qin Tian's body tremble uncontrollably. After these invisible and colorless cosmic energies entered Qin Tian's body, they were crazily devoured by every cell in the body that had been hungry for too long. These cosmic energies continued to enter through 5 channels. In cells. As cosmic energy enters cells, it is quickly absorbed by the mitochondria inside the cells, releasing a strange energy that is quickly absorbed by the cells everywhere. The entire cell itself immediately begins to undergo earth-shattering changes, and the DNA genetic blueprint undergoes subtle changes. At the same time, the cells also begin to divide into 2. Time passes by minute by second. Qin Tian's body is constantly undergoing changes, whether it is the surface of his skin, muscles, bones, or even every cell at a deeper level. Even the genes themselves have undergone some changes. This change is the evolution of life and an optimization of the genes of life. According to the cultivation method, because the human body has never consciously absorbed cosmic energy since birth. So being in a state of hunger all the time, the first time absorbing cosmic energy is the most. It's also the fastest time my strength has improved. Qin Tian's bone density is increasing, the cell volume is shrinking, one cell divides into two cells, and the muscle tissue itself is starting to optimize. Naturally, Qin Tian's body weight is also constantly increasing. Life is so peculiar. In the brain domain. In the depths of Qin Tian's brain, with the continuous influx of cosmic energy, the silver-white sphere in the depths of his brain began to emit a large amount of silver mist. The next morning, around 10 o'clock, Qin Tian finally withdrew from that comfortable state. It feels like having a spring dream all night to Qin Tian. In his dream, he and Yuchan, as well as a group of national anime goddesses, were on the grass. After waking up, Qin Tian immediately felt an increase in physical strength. In his perception, this improvement was very significant. It can even be said that it has doubled several times. This increase is estimated to be around 3,000 kilograms in his estimation. Add his original 999 kilograms. So, did I just skip the first and second levels of apprenticeship and reach the third level of apprenticeship? It's just that Qin Tian didn't test his boxing skills, he just felt so hungry. Coincidentally, Yuchan has already prepared breakfast and brought it to him. Of course, this hunger is really hungry, it is definitely very normal hunger. An hour and a half later, Qin Tian finished his breakfast beautifully and was ready to go to the extreme martial arts school to test his strength. End of this chapter. Chapter 5, Clone-Assisted Cultivation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5, Clone-Assisted Cultivation Extreme Martial Arts School. After finishing breakfast, Qin Tian came here. He is preparing to test the results of his overnight cultivation. At this time, it is exactly noon. Usually, there is basically no one inside the martial arts school at this time. If there is, I probably went to eat. So Qin Tian easily arrived at the martial arts school's boxing test machine. Qin Tian walked up to the fist strength testing machine, took a deep breath, then adjusted his breathing, then squatted down, punched with his right hand, and lunged to activate all his muscles, like a fierce tiger. Bang! The fist was like a missile hitting the target, causing the target to shake violently. Drip. Qin Tian looked up at the numerical value, 4,399 kilograms. 4,399 kilograms. Qin Tian took a deep breath. Surprisingly, it has improved so much. 4,399 kilograms, that means my physical fitness has reached the advanced warrior level, which is the third level apprentice. The apprentice's martial arts level is. If the martial arts reach 900 kilograms or above, it is a junior warrior. If the martial arts reach 2,000 kilograms or above, it is an intermediate warrior, and if the martial arts reach 4,000 kilograms or above, it is a senior warrior. 8,000 kilograms is a junior warrior, 16,000 kilograms is an intermediate warrior, 32,000 kilograms is a senior warrior, 64,000 is a junior warrior, 128,000 is an intermediate warrior, and 256,000 is a senior warrior. When it reaches 512,000, it becomes the invincible god of war. Immediately, Qin Tian looked at the system panel and found that the second stage of clone redemption had been unlocked, but was this serious? What does 1 billion Chinese coins mean? And Qin Tian saw a 0/10 symbol behind it. Ding, the host has one chance to extract the ability. Do you want to use it? Qin Tian, who was studying how to obtain more clones, was stunned for a moment and then asked the system. System, let's not talk about abilities for now. Can you explain why there are only 10 avatars that can be redeemed? Aren't you an unlimited avatar system? Ding, if there are 10 clones and the level reaches planetary level, subsequent clones will be automatically unlocked. Ding, the host still has one chance to extract abilities. Do you want to use it? Upon hearing this, Qin Tian was speechless for a moment. Ding, the host has been detected. Is there another chance to use the ability extraction? Ding, detected host, stop, use, let's use it now. Qin Tian's face was full of black lines, hoping to have a better ability. Sigh, there's no way, who said this is his own system? Ding, inability extraction. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining a clone to assist in cultivation. The clone is equivalent to the main body and can replace the host in cultivation, including but not limited to genetic original abilities, secret methods, and law insights. Qin Tian, who was originally a little angry, heard the subsequent prompt sound from the system, and the anger in his heart disappeared completely. What is this? This is the ability that the system should have, okay. Isn't this just automatic cultivation on the hook? Moreover, genetic abilities, secret techniques, and even law insights can all be practiced on the hook. After all, clones can synchronize with oneself in terms of genetic energy, rules, secrets, etc., and can also cultivate on their own. Moreover, after cultivation, they can also be fed back to the host. Even if there are enough clones, their strength will definitely improve day by day. With the assistance of a clone for cultivation, one can completely free their hands. Lie flat, completely flat. Ha ha ha. For a while, Qin Tian Kai recovered from his excitement and just looked at the clone at the back of the system to exchange the price. The 10 out of 1 billion Huaxia coins is 10 billion WC, Qin Tian looked speechless. How long will it take to make a profit? This is still in the beginner's period. If the beginner's period has passed, it's not worth it. After leaving the extreme martial arts school, Qin Tian returned to the rented house. Although it is currently not possible to exchange the remaining clones, at least with the help of Yu Chan, the cultivation speed has doubled. Today is June 4th, and the college entrance examination is from June 7th to June 8th. Although it is unclear whether Luo Feng will still awaken his spiritual and mental abilities like the original work, even if he does not awaken, according to Luo Feng's current cultivation speed, his physical strength should be able to withstand the awakening of his spiritual and mental abilities in less than 2 months. Then he has to consider whether to go to the wilderness with Luo Feng, or directly report that he has a talent for spiritual thinking and go to the war god training camp. Qin Tian, who was thinking, touched his chin and suddenly looked at the figure in the kitchen wearing an apron. Yeah, I have a clone. Qin Tian patted his head and thought of it. With Yu Chan present, he could have gone to the wilderness with Luo Feng to experience. Yu Chan directly exposed her talents and then went to the war god training camp to familiarize herself in advance. I have a talent for spiritual thinking and can improve my speed very quickly, right? Let's do it this way. Qin Tian did not want to interfere too much with Luo Feng's growth experience on Earth. According to the fragments in the memory, it was precisely because of these experiences on Earth that the later Lord of Luo City, who had a firm martial arts heart, was created. The experience on Earth is like planting seeds for Luo Feng in the later universe. This is very helpful for Luo Feng to recognize the main star tower in the future. So what I need to do is to witness and prevent unnecessary sacrifices that will not affect Luo Feng's mental growth. Let's just consider it as fulfilling one's own wish. Compared to the tedious practice of becoming invincible, it's better to adventure with Luo Feng, experience and become invincible. The feeling is different. And isn't it more fulfilling to pretend to be X in front of the protagonist? Ha ha ha. It can also ensure that one has a certain ability of foresight and foresight. Yu Chan, tomorrow you will go to the extreme martial arts school, and then expose your spiritual master talent. Go to the war god training camp. Qin Tian said to Yu Chan, who was washing dishes. Yes, master. Yu Chan, who was washing dishes, turned around and respectfully said. Looking at the beautiful cheeks that turned around, Qin Tian almost couldn't control them again. Quickly entered the bedroom and began practicing the 5 hearts towards heaven. The next day, Qin Tian moved with Yu Chan into the exclusive martial arts villa community of the Extreme Martial Arts School, Mingyue community. After all, Qin Tian himself doesn't have many things, so he can take them with him and leave them in the system space. After moving, I greeted Luo Feng and then took Yu Chan to the Extreme Martial Arts School. Extreme Martial Arts School. At this time, Jiang Yan was guiding several students in the martial arts training hall. Qin Tian came in from the martial arts training hall and saw Jiang Yan, so he pulled the masked Yu Chan over. Jiang Yan immediately smiled and said to Qin Tian when he saw the newcomer. "What's wrong, Qin Tian?" "Well, it's not a big deal either, that one." Qin Tian glanced at the students over there. Jiang Yan immediately understood. Then he took Qin Tian to a conference room. "Now it's okay, what's wrong, Qin Tian?" After seeing no one nearby, Qin Tian finally pulled Yu Chan to introduce Jiang Yan. "Jiang, it's not really a big deal. It's just that I let my sister practice the 5 hearts towards heaven cultivation method you gave me the day before yesterday." Upon hearing this, Jiang Yan looked at the woman beside Qin Tian. Although he was covering his face, it was not difficult to see. Jiang Yan asked, "Has your sister also reached the standard of a quasi-warrior?" Although the 5 hearts towards heaven cultivation method is highly confidential to the state and can only be issued after passing the assessment of quasi-martial artists, this is not a mandatory standard. In fact, it is only after reaching this standard that practicing the 5 hearts towards heaven cultivation method will not harm the body. If a person reaches the cultivation standard ahead of time and cultivates without participating in the assessment, there is no problem, just make up the record. "Well, my sister also practiced the 5 hearts towards heaven and succeeded, and she also awakened her talent for spiritual enlightenment," Qin Tian explained. Jiang Yan took a sip from the drain in the cup on the table. "Oh, it's okay then. As long as you reach the level of a quasi-warrior." Puff. "What are you saying? Spirit Master?" The water Jiang Yan just drank sprayed out directly. Fortunately, Qin Tian reacted quickly and pulled Yu Chan away immediately. Jiang Yan immediately reacted and excitedly said, holding Qin Tian's shoulders with both hands, "Qin Tian, are you telling the truth?" End of this chapter. Chapter 6, Zhuge Tao, joining the Extreme Martial Arts School. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6, Zhuge Tao, joining the Extreme Martial Arts School. Qin Tian, if what you just said is true, then your sister will definitely receive the best training and even have the possibility of going to that place. By the way, Qin Tian, what is your sister's punching power? Jiang Yan excitedly said to Qin Tian. Looking at Jiang Yan with an excited face, Qin Tian explained with a calm expression. "Instructor Jiang, my sister was picked up without any identification. Her martial arts training was similar to mine before, but I don't know how much it is now. However, I tested it once before and now her martial arts is 3,176 kilograms with a speed of 58 meters per second." Listening to Qin Tian's explanation, Jiang Yan ignored and said, "No problem, only if it's confirmed that she has the talent for spiritual mindfulness and martial arts, these are all minor issues. By the way, let's take a walk. There is a machine upstairs for testing fist power, just test it and you'll know soon." Under the leadership of Jiang Yan, the 3 of them arrived at the testing market upstairs, where the testing machines were different from those in the martial arts training hall downstairs. The highest one below can only test general-level warriors, while this one can test God of War-level warriors. Subsequently, under the witness of Jiang Yan, it was confirmed that Yu Chan had a talent for spiritual enlightenment, and her full-strength test also reached around 4,000 kilograms. This belongs entirely to the level of a peerless genius. Jiang Yan immediately contacted Zhuge Tao, one of the 3 main managers of the Extreme General Association in Jiangnan Base City. "Qin Tian, I have already gone to Jiangnan Base." "Zhuge, one of the 3 major supervisors of the Extreme General Guild, will come over soon. Don't worry, your sister will definitely receive the best training. After speaking, Jiang Nian warmly greeted Qin Tian and Yu Chan to the top floor of the Ultimate Management, which was the 7th floor. Arriving at the 7th floor, we entered a spacious and bright place that looked like an office. In the middle of the room was a silver-white metal round table with a sunken hole, and next to it were luxurious chairs. On the other side were leather sofas and rare potted plants. About 10 minutes. The door to the conference room opened, and the figure of a man about 50 years old wearing a training suit followed by a man of about the same size with a beard. Is this Zhuge Tao, one of the 3 main managers of the Jiangnan General Association and possessing a divine investment aura, the Extreme Martial Arts School? Qin Tian thought to himself. Jiang Nian, you said he was under 18 years old. During his first cultivation, the little guy with a talent for spiritual mindfulness and an increase of 3,000 kilograms in his 5 stars to the sky was there. Zhuge Tao looked at Qin Tian and Yu Chan with fiery eyes, scanning back and forth. At this point, Jiang Nian took a step forward and introduced. This is Qin Tian, who has just passed the quasi-martial arts assessment, and the one with the talent of a spiritual mind master is his sister, who is on the side next to him. Qin Tian, this is Zhuge, the supervisor of our Jiangnan base, which is one of the 3 major owners of the Extreme General Association, and the other is the chief instructor Wudong. Jiang Nian explained while reaching out his hand. After listening to Jiang Nian's introduction, Zhuge's gaze shifted to Yu Chan. Then he looked at Qin Tian again and said. Qin Tian, right. I've heard about your sister's situation from Jiang Nian. Your sister has great talent and is a very outstanding genius. If I formally invite you now, would you be willing to join our Extreme Martial Arts School? If you join, I will apply for a spot in an elite training camp for your sister from above. Of course, the success or failure depends on the approval from above, but considering your sister's talent, it is very likely to be applied for. And you, Qin Tian, your talent Jiang Nian has also told me that if you agree, according to convention, you can be allocated a single-family villa in the 5 Realms community for you and your family to live in. In addition, you can also receive optional guidance techniques and secrets priced at 50 million yuan, as well as 20 million yuan in startup funds. But I am very optimistic about you, so I increased the limit. You can get guidance techniques and secret scripts with an optional price of 100 million yuan. The extra part is my personal investment. Do you accept this condition? The room was quiet, and Qin Tian seemed to be thinking. After a while, under the gaze of Wu Tong and Zhuge Tao, Qin Tian looked up and asked. Okay, I promise to join the Extreme Martial Arts School, but what kind of training can my sister receive? Upon hearing Qin Tian's question, Zhuge Tao patiently explained. There is a basic training camp worldwide that attracts the world's most talented talents and provides them with the best training. And the elite training camp is the world's #1 training camp, attracting talents among geniuses and students like peerless demons. And your sister, at the age of less than 18, has reached the level of advanced warrior and also possesses the talent of spiritual minders, which can almost enter 100% because spiritual minders are too rare. Powerful spiritual minders are even rarer. Spiritual chain is usually 2 levels higher than a warrior's level. Your sister has already reached the advanced level of a trainee, and her spiritual and mental abilities have reached the intermediate level of a warrior. With this age, she will definitely receive the best training. Compared to the condition I gave you, it will be much higher. Qin Tian listened to Gu Tao's answer and then looked at Yu Chan, nodding. Okay, Director Zhuge, I have agreed on behalf of my sister, Qin Tian said firmly. Haha, congratulations, Qin Tian. From now on, you will also be a part of our Extreme Martial Arts School. Director Zhuge smiled brightly. After all, it took him a day to recommend someone who could earn considerable credit, let alone a demon who could enter the elite training camp. As for the other two supervisors, there is also the president of extreme management in Jiangnan Bay City, who believes he will agree. After all, a demon who can enter an elite training camp can only produce one in a base city every 3 to 5 years. If the recommended person successfully enters, the extreme martial arts school in the base city will also benefit greatly. Qin Tian's face also showed a happy expression. This time his goal has been achieved, allowing the clone Moon Chan to directly enter the elite training camp, use her resources to quickly improve herself, provide feedback to herself, and then synchronize her improvement with the clone. His speed of improvement will be unimaginable. As for how to enter the elite training camp in the future, Qin Tian also had an idea in his heart. He used the advantage of his clone Yu Chan's entry into the elite training camp, and colleagues who obtained resources received start-up funds to exchange the remaining clones. Using other clones to cultivate martial arts skills, body methods, and power levels. It is equivalent to Yu Chan using the talent of a spiritual master to enter, while he, like Luo Feng, uses martial arts to cultivate levels. Although the difficulty of the assessment may increase later, the problem is not significant. It's no big deal to push the lower-ranked ones down. Anyway, there is a clone, where is it not a promotion? Under the operation of Zhuge Tao, Yu Chan was quickly taken to the headquarters for testing and submitting materials. She then collaborated with several other supervisors and the president to report to the headquarters of the Extreme Martial Arts Academy. As for Qin Tian's contract, it was already signed on the spot. Although I have joined the Extreme Martial Arts School, I still need to participate in the actual combat assessment. Firstly, it can exercise my combat skills, and secondly, it is necessary to unlock a warrior's exclusive account. Although it is possible to unlock a martial arts account without having to participate through Yu Chan, it is still not troublesome to have a soft mouth and short hands. After all, it is better not to owe the favor. Besides, coming into this world and about to face monsters for the first time, he also wants to try his current strength. There are 2 practical assessments for martial artists every year, one on April 1st and one on August 1st. For the assessment of quasi-martial artists, except for the above 2 months, the first day of each month is acceptable. That is to say, it is highly likely that Luo Feng will also participate in the actual combat assessment of this warrior. Returning to Mingyue community, about a few hours later, Yu Chan returned. The news received is that the headquarters of the Extreme Martial Arts Academy will send someone to verify and take away their clone Yu Chan within 2 days at the latest. After looking at the time, it was about an hour before school was over. Although Qin Tian had decided not to study anymore, he had not yet applied for a withdrawal certificate. He happened to pick up Luo Feng in the afternoon and processed the certificate. If Yu Chan were to stay at home for cultivation, she has a talent for spiritual practice. With about 6 to 8 hours of absorption per day, she can increase her strength by 70.80 kilograms per day. If you add her own cultivation, it will be multiplied by 2. So in 1 month, it can increase by about 4,000 kilograms. Although the improvement speed will become slower and slower in the future, the quality will not be enough. The quantity will be enough to exchange for other clones for cultivation. End of this chapter. Chapter 7, Elementary God of War Level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7, Elementary God of War Level. After instructing Yu Chan to practice, Qin Tian came to the 3rd high school in Ian District. Looking at the campus filled with youth, it's still quiet before class ends. After finding the principal's office and obtaining a certificate of withdrawal, Qin Tian went to the bench in the garden and lay in the sun. The warm sunshine shone on him, reflecting a layer of golden radiance. Suddenly, there was a warm feeling. What was going on? However, Qin Tian is indeed very comfortable. But in no time, this peaceful scene was shattered, and the noisy bell for the end of school rang. The whole school began to slowly become noisy, and young and energetic students gradually walked out of the classroom. Qin Tian got up and went to the school gate. When he saw two boys walking out with the flow of people, he walked up. Luo Feng. Wei Wen. Qin Tian greeted the two with a smile. It's Qin Tian. Wei Wen was first puzzled, then surprised. Then he walked up quickly and put his hand on Qin Tian's shoulder, saying, Xiao Tian, where have you been lately? You can't even learn, and people can't see you. Although Luo Feng didn't say anything, his eyes still looked at Qin Tian with confusion. Qin Tian smiled at this and did not answer. Instead, he invited the two of them. Let's go and talk there. After speaking, he took the two of them to the milk tea shop across from the school. I ordered a glass of lemon iced tea for each of them and a portion of taro mashed popcorn milk tea for myself. Sunny sat opposite the two of them, looking at their puzzled expressions and smiling. It's like this, I took Chan'er to the extreme martial arts school today and signed a contract with them. I am already considered a quasi-warrior. To obtain the status of a warrior, I need to formally pass the warrior's actual combat assessment. What? You have signed with the Extreme Martial Arts School and are about to participate in the martial arts practical assessment. When they heard this explosive news, Luo Feng and Wei Wen were both surprised. As soon as Wei Wen drank it, he immediately sprayed out lemon tea. Fortunately, Qin Tian reacted quickly and quickly avoided it. Without any concern, Qin Tian continued. Yes, I can officially become a warrior through the martial arts practical assessment on August 1st, and I have moved my home to Mingyue Community, a villa exclusive to martial arts. How about, should I take you on a tour? Qin Tian said in a seductive tone. Although Luo Feng was somewhat shocked, what was more surprising was that when Qin Tian obtained the qualification of a quasi-warrior, he was also there. But Wei Wen still doesn't know. What? You're going to become a warrior so soon? Sure enough, the title, monster, is not for free. However, if you want to participate in the martial arts practical assessment, what about this exam? Wei Wen also recovered from shock and asked, after all, Qin Tian was already a senior martial artist during his training at the Extreme Martial Arts School. Becoming a warrior, although somewhat shocking, is more of an envy than expected. I have already applied for a withdrawal certificate at school, so I won't take the college entrance examination. After all, compared to going to college, I would rather be a warrior, Qin Tian waved and said. Moreover, in the past, becoming a martial artist would actually lead to a much faster learning of university knowledge. In about a month, one can complete all the courses in university, so this college entrance examination is not really necessary. Ah. So what should I do? Sigh, I don't know if I can get into college yet, and I'm still a long way from being a martial artist. With your help, I'm only an intermediate student in the martial arts school now. Ah Feng is already a senior student in the martial arts school, and becoming a martial artist is also a certainty, just me. The more Wei Wen spoke, the more he felt aggrieved. Among the third person, he did the worst, and if he didn't become a martial artist, it wouldn't be better. Seeing this scene, Luo Feng also quickly comforted. Wei Wen, you have to believe in yourself. As long as you work hard, even if you don't get into the first military academy, there is still great hope for the second military academy. Yeah, little mosquito, don't worry, even if you don't get into the second military academy, I will find a way to make you a warrior. Originally, after being comforted by Luo Feng, Wei Wen's mood had improved a lot, but he was eventually tricked by Qin Tian's small mosquito. Wei Wen quickly looked at Luo Feng with affectionate eyes. Ah Feng, look at Qin Tian. He always bullies me, woo-woo. Luo Feng felt a chill. Of course, he knew it was just a joke between the two, just to prevent their relationship from becoming distant after becoming a martial artist. However, looking at Wei Wen's appearance, he didn't dare to comfort him. Ha ha ha, alright, Wei Wen, let's go. I'll take you two on a tour of Wujia's villa community. Speaking, he took the two of them to Mingyue Community, as it was still early. After visiting the villa community, the two of them were constantly amazed. In the middle, Luo Feng also consulted Qin Tian for guidance, while Wei Wen was on the side, drinking taro paste and bobo milk tea, watching the two of them. Afterwards, Qin Tian sent both of them back home. As he was about to leave, Qin Tian saw the resolute gaze of Luo Feng. He knew that Luo Feng had once again strengthened his determination to become a warrior. In fact, Qin Tian didn't do all this to show off, everything was for Luo Feng to strengthen his martial arts spirit. He knew that what Luo Feng cared about was his family. Previously, he could only hear about how good warriors were, but what Qin Tian did was to make the image of warriors take root in Luo Feng's heart. Let all those good things be turned into facts. In order to allow his family to live in the villa area, not in the crowded slums, and to provide a better life for his family, Luo Feng will definitely work very hard. Plus, Qin Tian has been transmitting the concept of martial arts to Luo Feng all along. He believes that Luo Feng's growth rate will become faster. Quickly, a day passed and today is June 6th. Today is the day of the college entrance examination. Qin Tian did not practice, but observed in secret and stayed near Luo Feng's house from the evening. What he needs to do is to determine whether Luo Feng will still be stopped, enter the examination room, and eventually faint like in the original work. Perhaps due to the minor changes made by Qin Tian, Luo Feng was indeed stopped on his way to the college entrance examination, but it didn't last long. At this time, even if Luo Feng didn't faint, he already had the ability to surpass advanced students as a quasi-warrior. It was easy to solve more than 10 people and then rush to the exam room, but perhaps it was fate that Luo Feng still fainted in the exam room, making Qin Tian feel that fate had returned to normal, and it was indeed terrifying. Later, Qin Tian and Jiang Nian went to the hospital to visit Luo Feng, and successfully allowed him to obtain the qualification for the quasi-martial arts assessment without the need for assessment. It is wonderful that even though he obtained the qualification for the quasi-warrior assessment in advance, Luo Feng was still sent to prison on the day of the quasi-warrior assessment. That day Qin Tian was practicing, and it was only when Luo Feng's younger brother Luo Hua messaged him that he found out. Although it was a definite fact that Qin Tian had become a warrior, he did not have the right to directly release Luo Feng, so he could only visit the prison that night and record a few black materials of Lord Luo along the way. After all, Qin Tian knew that Luo Feng would not have any problems, so he was very reassured and promised Luo Feng to take care of his family. 3 days later, Luo Feng woke up in the hospital. Qin Tian went to visit Luo Feng and confirmed that he had awakened his spiritual and mental abilities. Another news is that Luo Feng successfully signed with the Extreme Martial Arts School before the martial arts assessment. Fate is really wonderful. Luo Feng's villa is next to Qin Tian's villa, so he often visits Qin Tian to learn from each other or goes to the martial arts school to find instructors to learn from. Qin Tian himself also needs to adapt to the explosive power. The main reason is still Yu Chan. On the second day of being taken away by her clone Moon Chan, her strength brought tremendous growth. On the second day after being taken to the headquarters of the Extreme Martial Arts School, Yu Chan signed 2 contracts. One was to officially join the Extreme Martial Arts School as the core team. The second contract is to immediately receive a set of 80 billion yuan worth of dragon blood and 30 billion yuan worth of chalcedony, as well as 2 sets of secret scripts, a set of level 9 weapons, and a set of combat uniforms. You can also choose a teacher or Hong's 3 first-hand guidance opportunities of course, because the first contract was signed, it became the core layer of the Extreme Martial Arts School, which included gaining a lot of rights and benefits, and correspondingly assuming more obligations and responsibilities. What Qin Tian values the most is being able to receive an annual activity fund of 5 billion huaxia coins. With this 5 billion, you can unlock more clones and exchange them for cultivation. At present, Qin Tian has 6 clones, 1 is the clone Moon Chan, and the other 5 are still the Shadow Man. As Qin Tian doesn't have any needs yet, he hasn't edited the clone types. In addition, the system space has expanded significantly from 1 by 1 by 1 to the current 6 by 6 by 6, with the 5 clones of the Black Shadow being among them. A month has passed, and Qin Tian's strength has been cultivated using jade marrow and dragon blood due to the resources on the side of Yuchan. The effect of chalcedony is to increase by 10,000 kilograms, while the effect of dragon blood is to increase by 4 times in primary battles, 3 times in intermediate battles, and 2 times in advanced battles. The higher the strength, the weaker the dragon blood effect, the lower the strength, the better the dragon blood effect. Below junior level generals, they cannot withstand the increase brought by dragon blood, while above super level generals, the effect of using dragon blood for improvement is not significant. So the level of general is the best stage for improvement. A month ago, Qin Tian was still around 4,500 kilograms and could not reach the level of a junior general. After obtaining activity funds, he exchanged 5 more clones and worked hard to improve his genetic abilities, only to reach 20,000 kilograms. 1,000 kilograms is a junior warrior, 2,000 kilograms is an intermediate warrior, 4,000 kilograms is a senior warrior, 8,000 kilograms is a junior general, 16,000 kilograms is an intermediate general, 32,000 kilograms is a senior general, 64,000 kilograms is a junior god of war, 128,000 kilograms is an intermediate god of war, 256,000 kilograms is a senior god of war, and 512,000 kilograms is an invincible god of war. After taking chalcedony and dragon blood, his strength has now reached that of a senior warrior, approaching that of a junior god of war, weighing 60,000 kilograms. Of course, the dark golden ball in his mind has also been completely shattered. It's about the level reached by Luo Feng after taking dragon blood in the original work. Unfortunately, he currently doesn't even have a micro-level body technique. As for martial arts, he asked Yuchan to choose the 9 thunder knife and a set of SS-level swordsmanship. At present, according to his plan, Yuchan and 2 clones are learning swordsmanship, 2 clones are practicing swordsmanship, and 2 clones are learning heavy thunder knife. As for himself, he is proficient in controlling this power and spiritual power, avoiding exposing his strength. If you have genetic abilities, you won't be practicing for now. With the strength close to that of a junior war god and the presence of a spiritual mage, as long as you don't encounter a senior war god or a high-level lord-level monster, there is basically no problem. Qin Tian finished his day of cultivation and glanced at the time. Tomorrow is the martial arts assessment. After a month of tireless sleep and food cultivation, his body method has greatly improved, almost reaching the perfect level. Yuchan's swordsmanship level has also broken through to the 4th level, reaching a specialized level where she can unleash 2.6 times her strength. As for the 9 thunder knife, it's the first type and not very proficient yet, so it still needs practice. But it's not a big problem, just waiting for tomorrow's martial arts assessment. I'll write it quickly here. Just briefly describe how to cultivate those things in the middle. Anyway, the main text only starts from stepping into the wilderness area. Just know and understand it earlier. Anyway, it's all for the later people to become saints and pave the way for the installation of X, end of this chapter. Chapter 8, Passing the Practical Assessment of Warriors. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8, Passing the Practical Assessment of Warriors August 1st. Qin Tian woke up from the warm and comfortable big bed and looked at the spacious one. He felt something was missing. I still feel a bit uncomfortable. Although this assessment is just a formality, Qin Tian still needs to make some sense of it. After all, with his physical fitness close to that of an elementary war god, coupled with his spiritual and mental abilities close to that of an advanced war god, as well as his body techniques close to perfection, specialized swordsmanship, and entry-level swordsmanship, he can pass the actual combat assessment for a warrior. It's simply not too easy. Mainly because I wanted to visit Luo Feng. After all, Luo Feng was still sent to prison by Zhang Haobai, and it is uncertain whether Zhang Zihu in the original work will still send the Golden Vulture. However, after his sparring and training with Luo Feng, his strength has improved by more than a little compared to the original work. Having advanced body techniques and advanced knife techniques, my physical fitness has also improved significantly. Dealing with a newly hatched Golden Vulture is not a big problem. While thinking, Qin Tian got dressed, had breakfast, and made an appointment with Luo Feng to go to the assessment venue together. Quickly, the two were led by a warrior from the Extreme Martial Arts Academy to the train station leading to the assessment site of the Northern Military Region. The train is completely enclosed, and there is no view of the outside from inside. A video appears on the large screen inside each carriage. They are recruitment advertisements for the Extreme Martial Arts School, Thunderbolt Martial Arts School, and the military, as well as the H2 Alliance. Luo Feng listened to the discussions of these people. I heard that the HR Alliance is good, with abundant wealth and the best treatment. Of course, HR is the wealthiest organization, can we not be wealthy? What's that? I think the Extreme Martial Arts School is the best. Not only does it have the world's strongest Hong sitting in it, but it also has more freedom than other organizations. Qin Tian and Luo Feng on one side did not join the discussion. After all, due to Qin Tian's influence, Luo Feng and he have already signed with the Extreme Martial Arts School, just to assess the passing and unlock the warrior's account. After a moment, ladies and gentlemen, the train is about to enter the station. Please prepare to get off the train. The sound of the school loudspeaker echoed, and the train gradually slowed down and came to a stop. Shoo, 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 the carriage doors opened, and the quasi-warriors in each carriage got off one after another. On the platform, everyone gathered and headed towards the large military camp next to them. At a glance, there were thousands of people. The military camp covers an extremely wide area, with a large number of various heavy weapons on the periphery, which can be seen everywhere. Zhang Ning's muzzle points towards the outside of the camp, and fully armed soldiers hold weapons to guard the surroundings. A murderous aura permeated the air. A large group of birds and monsters roared past in the sky, emitting piercing cries. Except for Qin Tian, the expressions of other quasi-warriors were all different. Nervousness, excitement, and unease. Qin Tian glanced at Luo Feng with a calm expression and reached out to pat his shoulder. Don't worry, with our abilities, passing the assessment is a guaranteed thing. Luo Feng glanced at Qin Tian, nodded, and said with a firm gaze. Finally, I can face real monsters. You should know that Luo Feng, after being trained by Qin Tian, has almost reached the advanced warrior level, with the addition of the first level of the 9 Thunder Sword and the advanced body method. There is no pressure to deal with these H-level monsters. When Luo Feng and Qin Tian were picking up equipment, a young man, who was about the same height as Luo Feng, walked over wearing equipment. Are you Qin Tian and Luo Feng, the prospective martial artists who signed early with the Extreme Martial Arts School this time? I am Wan Dong, the prospective martial artist who signed early with the Thunderbolt Martial Arts School. Do you have the courage to compare with me? Just compared to the assessment of this martial arts battle, who is the top scorer between you and me? The young man's eyes flickered with a gaze on the prey, looking at Qin Tian and Luo Feng. I'm not interested. Luo Feng glanced and continued to wear his equipment. Qin Tian gave a contemptuous glance and then said, bored. You. Wan Dong was provoked by both of them answering, especially Qin Tian's gaze, which made him very unhappy and ready to explode. At this moment, a very loud voice came from the front. Welcome everyone to the Jiangnan North Military Region. The practical assessment of the 5 of you, 1520, will be held here. I hope you can pass the assessment smoothly and come back alive. Every time you kill a monster, remember to cut off its left ear as proof. The more monsters you kill, the more points you'll earn. In this assessment, only the first 60% can pass the assessment, and the remaining 40% will be considered as a failure of the assessment and will have to wait until the next practical assessment of the martial artist. Moreover, it is strictly prohibited for quasi-warriors to engage in self-violence, and violators will be directly executed by firing squad. Just a reminder, killing 3 monsters is usually enough to pass the assessment, killing 2 depends on luck, and there is basically no hope for 1. The ranking will also be determined based on the time spent hunting monsters and one's own injuries. If someone is seriously injured, you can check the Seek Help button on your communication watch. Someone will come to rescue, but this also means that your warrior's actual combat assessment is over. After speaking, the instructor led everyone to the assessment venue, Monster Town. At dusk, Qin Tian and his group arrived outside the monster town. The entire town was surrounded by barbed wire, and the roar of various monsters could be heard inside, making people feel palpitations. A large number of soldiers around are patrolling and guarding with various sophisticated firearms. As the entrance to Monster Town opened and the instructor gave a command, the quasi-warriors began to swarm in and then separated. Luo Feng and Qin Tian exchanged a glance and quickly entered. After entering the Monster Town, Qin Tian and Luo Feng began to separate their experiences. But Qin Tian kept a watchful eye and left a mark on Luo Feng with his spiritual power before leaving. For Qin Tian, this assessment really doesn't make much sense. According to Synchronous Yuchan's consciousness, it's like he has even killed an intermediate general. As for these beast-level monsters, they are really boring. I found a rooftop with a good view and high floors, and I just lay down to rest, and there is no photography here yet. When Qin Tian came over, he also casually killed a few shadow cats and iron-haired wild boars, completing the assessment task directly. As night fell, Qin Tian opened his eyes and glanced at the clone of the shadow man next to him. At that moment, there were already dozens of ears in his backpack. No need to think, these are all hunted by the shadow man. If it weren't for avoiding the camera, it's just unnecessary to hunt more. After making a hash, Qin Tian rubbed his eyes, felt the position of Luo Feng, tidied up, and prepared to go and take a look. At around 5 a.m., on a street in Monster Town, 5 or 6 monsters were besieging a human. Although the 5 or 6-headed monsters were extremely fast, they didn't touch the human at all when their claws swung. The human's body range is extremely small every time he dodges, but he can miraculously dodge the attacks of monsters every time. This person is Luo Feng, who is honing his body techniques. Almost there, although with Xiaotian's help, my body method has already reached the micro level, but I am not very proficient yet. But under the siege of these 6 monsters, there were no mistakes for half an hour. My body method has completely entered the micro level and is stable. Luo Feng looked at the surrounding 6 monsters. Since you are no longer able to bring me pressure, let's get rid of you. 9 thunder knives, the first one. After speaking, Luo Feng used his body technique and swiftly slashed down at the nearest monster, cutting off its head. Then he followed suit and dealt with the other 5 monsters. Suddenly, a voice rang out. Luo Feng, who was preparing to collect spoils of war, immediately looked vigilantly towards a rooftop. Not bad, Xiaofeng. His body technique has completely entered the micro level, and even his sword technique has reached the first level. Qin Tian clapped his hands and jumped off the rooftop. Luo Feng looked at the newcomer and let go of his guard, saying with a smile. "Oh, Xiaotian. Why are you here? If it weren't for you helping me, I wouldn't have known when I would have been able to comprehend body techniques and the 9-fold thunder blade. By the way, Xiaotian, have you passed the assessment criteria?" Luo Feng put down the backpack in his hand and walked up to Qin Tian, saying. As for why he asked this question, it was mainly because Qin Tian was too clean, just like when he first entered Monster Town. You know, he's covered in blood now. Although it's all the blood of monsters. But Qin Tian was clean and didn't look like a person who had fought monsters at all. Ha ha ha, Xiaofeng, I just passed by and there was a noise in the passage. As for the assessment, he. Qin Tian said, took out his backpack behind him and opened it for Luo Feng to see. No more, no less, exactly 60, how about it, he. So many, Xiao Tian, I only have 30, plus these 6, I only have 36. Qin Tian put away his backpack and chuckled as he pulled Luo Feng's shoulder. How about it? Now you can call me Tian Gu without any problems. No, although you are more than me, I am older than you. Go and go, how can it depend on age? Xiaofeng, you should know that the master is the master, let alone your swordsmanship and body techniques that I taught you. That's not good either, I'm old. I have strong abilities. I am old. Me, Qin Tian looked at Luo Feng with a serene expression. Regarding this, Luo Feng ignored Qin Tian's gaze and continued to collect the monster's left ear. After tidying up and looking at the time, Luo Feng said to Qin Tian. Let's go, Xiao Tian. It's already 5.30 and the assessment is about to end. Qin Tian was helpless because the ID card of this body was 1 month smaller than Luo Feng, and when he came to Jiangnan Bay City, he had been called Luo Feng and Feng Gu for the first 2 months. At most, he became familiar with each other by calling them Xiao Feng and A Feng. But later he wanted Luo Feng to call him Tian Gu, but Luo Feng refused. After all, when the younger brother of Lord Luo and the older brother of Lord Luo, their identities are vastly different. In the future, when you go out and meet someone, just say, I am the elder brother of Lord Luo, with the effect of putting on forks and using leverage. Unfortunately, Luo Feng was unwilling, sobbing. I knew I wouldn't expose my age. August 2nd. In the early morning. The sky is hazy and bright, and the sun has not yet risen, only a remnant of red can be seen on the horizon. Beep beep suddenly, a piercing sound came to mind over the small town, and at the same time, a powerful figure emanated from the loudspeaker, echoing throughout the entire town. Time is up. All participants in the assessment, please go to the exit of the town immediately. Repeat. Time is up, please go to the exit of the town immediately. The assessment has finally come to an end. Qin Tian and Luo Feng walked out of the monster town together. Suddenly, a piercing horn sounded from behind, and the truck drove out of the town, piled with monster corpses. One of the trucks drove aside and poured down a pile of incomplete corpses. These are all human corpses. Hey, these are all the corpses of the quasi-warriors participating in the assessment. Someone can collect them. A staff member said. The broken limbs and debris piled up together, with a bloody smell permeating in the cool morning air. A group of people who had already come out immediately vomited when they saw this situation. After seeing it, Luo Feng's expression was slightly solemn, and the joy of passing the assessment was reduced by more than half. Qin Tian, on the other hand, was a bit indifferent. He found himself not feeling too uncomfortable, just feeling a bit nauseous. He was not sure if it was due to his high mental strength and strong ability to bear it. Also playing because of something else, I glanced at Luo Feng. Xiaofeng, but if they choose this path, they must bear the consequences of it. If they don't want to be one of them, they need to become stronger and work hard. Qin Tian held his backpack and said to Luo Feng, then walked straight to the assessment and statistics office. Upon hearing this, Luo Feng looked at the pile of corpses and then at Qin Tian, who was walking away, with a firm gaze. Qin Tian, come to the assessment and statistics office and hand over your backpack to the statisticians. Qin Tian, there are 60 monsters with left ears, no strategic supplies, and no injuries on their bodies. They are qualified, said the statistical officer in shock after counting them. Although the officials were not very loud, the people present were not ordinary people, and with the dense crowd, they could naturally be heard. What? 60, is that person Qin Tian? The quasi-martial artist who was signed in advance by the Extreme Martial Arts School. Right. I heard there's another one who signed early, called Luo Feng. Luo Feng, 36 monsters left ears, 7 strategic items, undamaged, qualified. Due to Qin Tian's achievements as a foundation, Luo Feng's achievements naturally became less eye-catching. Qin Tian saw Wu Tong, the chief instructor of the Extreme Martial Arts School, greeting the two at the exit. Just call on Luo Feng, who has just finished counting, and pull him over. As I walked, I saw Wan Dong, who was a bit dumbfounded, carrying a backpack. Ha, Qin Tian, Luo Feng, congratulations on passing the assessment. Your warrior account has been unlocked. After returning, you can purchase equipment, guidance skills, and other resources at the Extreme Martial Arts School home. Ha ha ha. By the way, Qin Tian, the matter you mentioned last time has already been settled. I have noticed a general level team for you, the Fire Hammer team. You will see it in a few days. Remember to perform well, maybe with your talents, you can go to the basic training camp and keep going. After Wu Tong finished speaking, he patted the shoulders of the two and laughed as he left. Qin Tian and Luo Feng exchanged a glance and nodded. Late at night, at 11 o'clock. After Qin Tian and Luo Feng returned, they had a sparring for a while, then took a shower and walked to the video room on the second floor wearing a bathrobe. Now that I have passed the martial arts practical assessment and unlocked my account, I can log into the internal network of the Extreme Martial Arts School. Extreme Home. Qin Tian thought of it. Due to Yuechan's relationship, I now have 2 sets of secret scripts, Zhuge Thunder Blade and SS level sword technique Mist Sword. Yuechan's side mainly focuses on sword technique, so I will focus on sword technique. Moreover, Qin Tian himself tends to be more inclined towards swordsmanship, and those who play with swords feel much more handsome than those who play with them. If he fully comprehends swordsmanship and combines it with the 9 thunder knives, he may be able to create his own swordsmanship. In that case, the secret code here can only be bought with the 9-fold thunder blade. As for the equipment, the lowest level is almost enough. With his physical fitness close to that of an elementary war god, he has a general level defense even without wearing equipment. And let Yuechan go to the wilderness to pick up a few pieces of equipment, wouldn't she already have the equipment? I have to say, this system space is amazing. Feeling it, the dark golden ball in my mind had completely turned into mist. That indicates that one's spiritual teacher talent is probably close to that of a higher god of war. If it were the original owner, it would probably be at the level of a war general, where the fusion of one's own soul leads to a level close to the higher level of war god. Although my spiritual master level has already reached the peak of the intermediate god of war. But even if the higher god of war confronts him, he still cannot seek any benefits. Physical fitness is like hardware, body techniques, knife techniques, and so on are software. What you need to do is to cultivate the other software to the level that matches the hardware. The dark golden orb has been digested, indicating that the phase of rapid improvement has also ended. It will become slower to progress to transformation in the future. However, with the cultivation blessing of a clone, the speed should not slow down much. It can reach the level of invincible god of war within a maximum of 6 months or a year. End of this chapter. Chapter 9, Purchase Secret Scripts, Experience in the Wilderness Area. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9, Purchase Secret Scripts, Experience in the Wilderness Area. Take it easy. Qin Tian has opened the Extreme Home. Suddenly, a huge blue transparent panel appeared on one wall of the audio.visual room. Qin Tian pressed his palm up. Drip verification passed. Extreme Martial Arts School name. Qin Tian gender. Mail address. Jiangnan Bay City, China Martial Arts Certificate number 426122320560801000001 level. Warrior level, advanced, contribution point. 0 currency balance. 97000000 Chinese currency. Qin Tian drank a cup of tea brewed by his shadow clone and browsed through the information. At this moment, Qin Tian noticed a button in the bottom left corner of the email that displayed 3 red colors. Seeing this, Qin Tian couldn't bear the red dots and immediately clicked in. Opened the mailbox. Beep. An email opened and a video and projection suddenly appeared. Dear new warrior, Mr. Qin Tian. Hello, I am your exclusive guide. A projected girl smiled and said to Qin Tian. Welcome to join our extreme martial arts school family. This is your first time entering the internal network of Extreme Martial Arts School. Extreme Home. Let me introduce you to the purpose of Extreme Home. Firstly, within the Extreme Home, you can purchase various levels of weapon guidance techniques, body technique secrets, attack secrets, such as knives, swords, guns, and more, as well as hot weapons, transportation protective equipment, communication systems, special bombs, special potions, gene potions, and even some natural treasures. He has enough money to purchase them. Once payment is made, the goods will be delivered within 24 hours. We have detected that you are a new martial artist, and the incentive funds gifted to you by Zhuge's supervisor. You can purchase body techniques, knife technique guidance number secrets, etc. for a price not exceeding 100 million yuan. Additionally, if you have enough contribution points, the prices of the above items can be halved. Qin Tian took a look and found that 100 million yuan was gifted by Zhuge, another 50 million yuan was normal contract funds, and 20 million yuan was start-up funds. As for the remaining 800 million, it was obtained by Yu Chan from hunting monsters. Yu Chan hardly needs it, so everything has been turned around. Then you can buy better equipment yourself. As for the secret script, it's still the 9 Thunder Knife and SS level sword technique Mist Sword. However, I only bought 3 layers for the 9 Thunder Knife and the first 5 layers for swordsmanship. The swordsmanship consists of 10 layers, with each additional layer adding 0.4 times the strength. Buy all the equipment from the 9 series. For the flying knife N, just buy 2 SS level ones, which are not expensive for tens of millions. Here are 2 9 series swords. In fact, this swordsmanship was specially selected by Qin Tian, with a total of 10 levels, but it can only be practiced to 4 times its strength. As for why it was rated as SS level, the main reason is that this swordsmanship is easy to understand, easy to cultivate, and to a great extent, the swordsmanship realm has basically reached perfection. From the beginning, Qin Tian planned to create his own swordsmanship. Others will eventually belong to others, and one can borrow a rope, but not get addicted to it. Qin Tian took a look at the remaining 2 emails, one was a transfer from Yu Chan and the other was incentive funds from Director Zhuge. Take a careful look at the way to obtain contribution points. One is to hunt monsters, and the other is to donate money. Donate money. Oh, it's impossible to donate money. It's impossible to donate money in this lifetime. How could it be possible to exchange a clone for a contribution point with money? So we can only go hunting monsters. Fortunately Yu Chan should have accumulated a lot of contribution points. It's already around 1 p.m. late at night after finishing these tasks. Qin Tian looked at the time and made a hash, indicating that it was time to go to bed. Tomorrow, the equipment and secrets should be delivered. I still have to meet the people from the Fire Hammer Squad. I'm so busy. It's better to lie flat and feel comfortable. If there is a clone cultivation, the master is responsible for lying flat. Luo Feng has only recently broken through the advanced warrior, and coupled with his spiritual cultivation, he should also be a mid-level warrior. Around 8 a.m. the next day, Qin Tiangang finished washing and changing clothes with the help of his clone. Go downstairs to collect equipment and secrets. Mr. Qin Tian, this is the secret script you purchased. You can only use your own fingerprint to open it. Well, good. Additionally, the equipment you purchased is also here. Qin Tian looked at the several large sealed alloy boxes behind him. Nodding. After waiting for someone to leave, Qin Tian brought several boxes into the villa. Looking at the box in front of him, Qin Tian swiped his finger over the top of the alloy box. Drip. Fingerprint verification successful. An electronic synthesized sound effect sounded, and then the alloy box opened. Inside was a light book, which recorded the 9 thunder knives. I opened another box using the same method. Inside is the SS-level sword technique Mist Sword. As for the remaining boxes, they are weapons and equipment. I took a look at the 9-fold thunder blade. The world's martial arts are invincible, only fast and unbreakable. When your knife is faster and reaches its limit, then you are invincible. The Thunderbolt blade I created gives me the fastest speed in the world and the strongest physique in the world. Qin Tian didn't know how to evaluate it. Then look at a secret script. Mist Sword. Fog Sword, with cultivation as a supplement and guidance as the main focus. The first 3 levels of cultivation correspond to minor achievements in swordsmanship, the middle 3 levels are major achievements, and the last 3 levels are perfect. The core of this swordsmanship lies in 1 speed, which, when combined with the upper body technique of mist and shadow, forms illusions when attacking, and each illusion is 1 weight. Due to sacrificing power and pursuing speed, this secret script can only increase combat power by 0.4 times for each level of increase. After reading 2 secret scripts, N tends to lean towards speed, so he can borrow some cables. In these days, through hard work, his body techniques have finally broken through to the perfect level, his swordsmanship is specialized, and his swordsmanship is also about the same. The first layer of the 9 Thunder Saber is completely proficient, and the Mist Sword has also broken through to the 5th layer, which can unleash 3 times the strength. Well, it's okay. August 28th. Qin Tian woke up from his sleep. For over half a month, he had his clone do his best to cultivate the 9-fold Thunder Blade. Although he did not break through to the 2nd level, the growth rate of his sword technique was visible to the naked eye, and he had already broken through to the specialized level. The 2nd level of the 9-fold Thunder Blade was not far away. At the same time, I have completely stepped into the Junior God of War, and my spiritual power has barely entered the Senior God of War. Alas, after the disappearance of the Dark Golden Ball, my spiritual power has not improved so quickly. During this period, Luo Feng was arranged to join the Fire Hammer Squad, and Qin Tian also went that day. However, Qin Tian only went to get along and didn't join. Zhuge Tao and Wu Tong repeatedly asked for advice, but Qin Tian had already made up his mind and expressed that he didn't like being constrained and wanted to work alone. Moreover, Qin Tian stated that he would first go to the low-level monster area, and the 2 of them didn't say much. After all, the path he chose had to be taken by himself, and the consequences were also his own responsibility. As for the incident involving Zhang Zihu in the original work, Qin Tian originally intended to help Luo Feng solve it through some means, but Luo Feng wanted to solve it himself, so Qin Tian did not take action. However, Qin Tian has no plans to practice today, mainly because it is the day when Luo Feng sets off with the Fire Hammer team to leave the base city and enter the wilderness to hunt monsters. Qin Tian at least thinks he's brother Luo Feng, how can he not go and see him off? Xiao Tian, are you sure you want to be on your own? I can tell the captain, said Luo Feng. But Qin Tian took the lead and said. Xiaofeng, I know you're doing it for my good, but everyone has their own way to go, and what I want to do is the wind that yearns for freedom. Speaking, Qin Tian smiled and patted Luo Feng's shoulder. Go ahead, don't make your teammates wait too long. Okay, you go to the wilderness alone, be careful, Luo Feng said with some concern. Don't worry, I know in my heart that I will first go to a low-level small county to hone my experience. When I have enough strength, I will go to the city. Luo Feng nodded at the words. Seeing Luo Feng and others walking away, Qin Tian rose in his heart. I am a primary war god and a high-level spiritual thinker. How could there be any problems? Xia Fengzi, come on, although I can help you solve some things, there are some things that you must bear on your own. Wilderness, I'm coming too. On the 30th. Qin Tian still woke up from the soft big bed. Looking at the spacious big bed, alas, I miss Chan'er so much. Unfortunately, Yuechan cannot be transmitted through the system space. Only clones of the Shadow Man can enter the system space. A clone that has already been fabricated cannot return to the system space unless it dies. Unfortunately, death cannot return to the state of the Shadow Man. So Qin Tian did not let Yuechan commit suicide, nor did he create any other clones. After all, after being finalized, the clone will not be able to reclaim system space and will also need to obtain an identity certificate. Previously, Yuechan said she was an orphan taken in by her parents. Is she still using this method now? Even if you use it, have you ever seen an orphan at the war god level? So, Qin Tian did not edit any clone, even if it was not finalized, the clone still had the same strength as the original. It doesn't affect him. Anyway, it's only a few months, and he will definitely be able to go to the God of War training camp. Moreover, based on the synchronized memories recently, Yuechan has been living quite well there. Now, in addition to the clone Yuechan and 5 clones of the Black Shadow Man, a new clone has been exchanged. The cultivation speed has increased again. Qin Tian put on a combat vest, wore wrist guards, and hung his swords on his back. He then put on his shield, wearing a communication watch in his left hand and a war knife in his right hand. Waste registration backpack, system space filled with water and food. Hee, after 3 months of experience, let me see where I can grow. Wilderness is a collective term for the mainland areas outside of human-based cities, including abandoned and dilapidated cities, suburbs, mountainous areas, forests, lakes, rivers, etc. Anyway, all the land on Earth, except for the base city, belongs to wilderness areas. The weather is a bit gloomy. The air is filled with a faint smell of blood. There are monsters everywhere here, including generals and lords. This is City 003. Before the Great Nirvana period, this place was one of the economic centers of the entire China and could be said to be world-renowned. But now it has become one of the most dangerous areas in the entire Eurasian region. This place is not only adjacent to the ocean, but also has a large number of marine monsters active in some rivers. This place also has almost the largest architectural complex in Asia, which has led to an astonishing number of monsters. There are numerous beast soldier level monsters everywhere here, including many beast generals and lords. But what truly stands at the top of the food chain here is the king level monster. There are many beast level monsters like dogs here, and a large number of top warriors gather here. Even some foreign base cities have warriors traveling thousands of miles to come here. It can be said that this is a battlefield where warriors and monsters fight each other. The entire city is shrouded in a faint mist, and the sky is always dark due to various birds and monsters in the sky. Because there are a huge number of monsters, as long as there are powerful warriors who make money here, their speed will soar. Of course, if you don't have enough strength, then you can only say goodbye. On a street, a thunderbolt flashed past, and just now it was still majestic. The rampant 2-headed black snake was split in half. A young man with clear eyebrows and eyes stood behind his body, his movements were clean and neat, without any redundancy. It's the 33rd one. The young man murmured to himself. This young man is Qin Tian, who has arrived in City 003. Qin Tian has been here for almost 7 days. There are 33 beast-level monsters killed alone. During this period, Qin Tian also encountered 2 high-level lord-level monsters. Although Qin Tian relied on having 5 clones and was not afraid, he did not forget his purpose of coming here, to gain experience and make money. There is no need to fight fiercely against a high-level lord-level monster, as it is both time-consuming and laborious, and may not necessarily be able to win. These monster materials should be enough for me to exchange the remaining clones, right? Qin Tian glanced at the monster material in the system space. 14 junior beast generals, 13 intermediate beast generals, 6 advanced beast generals, and countless beast soldier levels. After a while, Qin Tian Gang put away the monster materials, but the bloody smell attracted a large group of monsters. Qin Tian glanced faintly and saw that he had no beast-level generals. His mental energy burst out, and a sword and 2 swords flew out from behind. Qin Tian, on the other hand, stepped on a shield and looked at the monster below. Suddenly, a wave of sword light and shadows struck, and hundreds of monsters lost their vitality. Qin Tian did not continue to collect these materials. Because it's not necessary, the system space is already running out of space. Returning to the supply base, Qin Tian did not hand over the materials, but instead arrived at an underground trading venue. Qin Tian wore a black robe and handed over the materials to the person in charge here. "Give me a tally, all the funds have been transferred to this card," Qin Tian said in a hoarse voice, throwing up an anonymous Swiss bank card. This underground trading market is specifically designed for warriors who refuse to disclose their identities. It is rumored that behind this underground trading market is the HR Alliance. Here we only look at the materials, not the identity, and we will not upload the results to the information board. Qin Tian's level is still at the advanced warrior level. It will not be promoted to a senior general. Although Qin Tian is not afraid of exposure, it will only cause a lot of trouble. Qin Tian doesn't like trouble. And after nearly a week of high-intensity combat, Qin Tian's 9 Thunder Sword reached its 2nd level. The Mist Sword also broke through to the 6th level, exerting 3.4 times its power. A low-level monster with important materials on its body, usually around 5 to 15 million. A mid-level monster with important materials on its body, usually ranging from 10 million to 100 million. A high-level beast with important materials on its body, usually ranging from 50 million to 700 million. Qin Tian's receipt this time is approximately 3.2 billion yuan. Primary beasts will reach 150 million, intermediate beasts will reach 650 million, and advanced beasts will reach 2.4 billion. Not bad, you can exchange 3 clones, but you only need 1 more clone. You can exchange all 10 clones, Qin Tian thought to himself. After redeeming the clone, it's time to enter the war god training camp. After all, everyone has come to devour the starry world. If we don't go to the god of war training, it will definitely be a bit incomplete, hahaha. Although Yu-chan has been there for 3 months. But it's important to personally check in, hahaha. Let's also take a look at those so-called geniuses. End of this chapter. Chapter 10, Growth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10, Growth. September 10th. The weather will gradually cool down. Winter is approaching, and in the morning and evening, it can make people feel a slight chill. Mingyue Community. Qin Tian is practicing the 9 Thunder Knife in the martial arts training hall. Suddenly, a flash of knife light flashed by. The air erupted into a sonic boom. Bang! The 9 Thunder Knife has finally broken through the 3rd layer. Qin Tian withdrew his power, but fortunately, the sound insulation effect of this villa is good, otherwise to cultivate the 9-fold Thunder Blade, one needs a calm state of mind, but there is an undercurrent surging beneath it. Although the clones have their own thoughts, as long as they have not yet formed or fabricated them, they will only follow Qin Tian's instructions. Not affected by external factors, cultivating the 9-fold Thunder Blade in this state of mind is naturally twice the result with half the effort. Practicing with the most ordinary mindset, with no distractions, is a state that many people dream of. But this is indeed the most fundamental instinct of a clone. So, Qin Tian's strength can only grow so quickly. The fist power of the primary god of war is approximately 64,000 kilograms to 128,000 kilograms. Qin Tian burst out with all his might, punching 100,860 kilograms, which is close to the data of a medium war god. If he uses the power technique of swordsmanship, he can unleash over 340,000 kilograms of punches. Using the power technique of the Nine Thunder Knife, you can hit 280,000 kilograms. This is already the level of the fist power of the High God of War, plus the spiritual and mental power that has officially entered the High God of War. Both physical and mental levels are at the God of War level. Although other advanced war gods certainly have secret scripts for cultivation, Qin Tian is not panicked either. After all, it has been only 3 months since he entered the martial arts world and has reached this level. No one can compare. What he needs to do is to improve his martial arts secrets to the level of benchmarking against higher war gods. Only in this way can we truly step into the ranks of the strong. Suddenly, the doorbell downstairs rang. Qin Tian, as soon as he opened the door, he found that it was Luo Feng. "Oh, Xiaofeng, have you returned from the wilderness?" Qin Tian pretended to be unaware of the importance. Yes, I just returned from the wilderness yesterday." Luo Feng ignored Qin Tian's call to him directly. Anyway, the two of them have been constantly fighting over this matter. "Don't stand foolishly, come in." Qin Tian opened the door and walked into the room. "Xiao Tian, have you been to the wilderness area?" Luo Feng sat on the living room sofa and looked at Qin Tian, asking with some concern. Because Luo Feng has been to a wilderness area once and knows the dangers involved. Plus, Qin Tian said he would go alone, which inevitably made him a little worried. Looking at Luo Feng's appearance, Qin Tian smiled, picked up a cup of tea, and handed it to Luo Feng. He knew that Luo Feng was caring about him, so he didn't lie to him and told him the truth. "As for the wilderness area, of course I have been there. I went to a wilderness city," Qin Tian said slowly. Luo Feng suddenly felt a little anxious. "However, I'm not in any danger and I've killed many monsters. Do you think I've been injured before?" Qin Tian explained in a gasping voice. Qin Tian did not conceal whether he had gone to the wilderness or the city, unharmed, and killed many monsters. He did not say which city he went to, nor did he say what level of monster he had killed. Luo Feng was numbed by Qin Tian's sudden gasp for breath. "Damn it, stinky little Tian, I'm so worried about you." Luo Feng punched Qin Tian in the chest, but withdrew his strength. "Damn it, Xiaofeng. If you don't talk about martial arts, you'll ambush your elder brother and me. Poor thing, I wasn't injured in the wilderness today, but I was severely injured by your young man." Qin Tian pretended to be hit internally by Luo Feng, but it was a bit fake. Luo Feng took a silent glance and said he was used to Qin Tian's appearance. However, it is precisely because of this that their relationship is also very good. "Alright, I know you're caring about me. How's it going? Did you go smoothly on your trip to the wilderness this time?" Qin Tian didn't continue to pack any more and picked up a cup of tea and asked. Luo Feng also spoke seriously when he saw the situation. "The wilderness area is indeed dangerous. This time in the county-level city of 0201, we encountered the Tiger Tooth Squad, blah blah." Luo Feng said a lot, his mouth was dry, and he quickly took the teacup that Qin Tian had just poured water into and took a sip to dry. Qin Tian, on the other hand, listened silently. Although there were some images of Luo Feng's experience in his heart, he was not very clear. "My own Luo Feng went to the city of 0201, saved Su Xian, and then encountered the Tiger Tooth team. My teammate was interrupted with one hand and killed the Silver Moon Wolf. However, at this time, Luo Feng is not the Luo Feng in the original work. The Luo Feng in the original work is only a high-level warrior, and even with the blessing of a spiritual mind master, he is only a mid-level warrior. Now, it is evident that Luo Feng has reached the level of a junior general. After listening quietly to Luo Feng's experience, Qin Tian briefly told him about his experience in the wilderness. Just didn't mention the city or monster level, and told Luo Feng the news of his 9th level Thunderbolt blade breaking through the 3rd level. He concealed his warrior level and claimed that he only had a junior general level. Luo Feng thought that Qin Tian was a monster in a small city, slaughtering beast soldiers. So there was no follow-up inquiry. However, upon hearing that Qin Tian, with the strength of a junior general, was brutally killing monsters in the wilderness area, and then the 9 thunder knife broke through to the 3rd level, Luo Feng was deeply moved. He also wants to give it a try if there is a chance. Later, he had a sparring with Qin Tian here, and Qin Tian generously instructed Luo Feng on how to use the 9 thunder saber correctly. September 29th. Luo Feng, it has been almost a month since he returned to the base city, and Qin Tian has also guided Luo Feng for almost a month. It is obvious that Luo Feng's strength has become much stronger, such as breaking through to the 2nd level with the 9-fold thunder blade. The body technique has reached the perfect level, and the knife technique is even more exquisite. As for Qin Tian, it goes without saying that upon returning from the wilderness area, he exchanged the remaining clone, and last month Chand provided another clone's exchange funds. All 10 clones have been redeemed. With the blessing of 11 clones, Qin Tian's cultivation speed is as fast as flying. Among them, there are 5 clones, including Yu Chan, who practice swordsmanship, and 2 clones who practice fist power. The remaining 3 are practicing the 9-fold thunder blade with Qin Tian. But Qin Tian still cannot reveal the 4th thunderbolt blade. Because he did not purchase the following secret code. If it is used, it may be a bit troublesome, and there is no need to use it. The sword technique has already broken through to the 8th level. The distance to perfection is only 1 step away. It is estimated that we can achieve it next month, and our physical fitness can also reach the intermediate level of God of War. Because the other members of the Fire Hammer team are preparing to purchase genetic potions to take, they no longer plan to go to the wilderness area in the short term. Luo Feng just wanted to work alone like Qin Tian. Train yourself in battle. A person ran to the 0201 county town to slaughter beast soldiers, and occasionally killed several beast generals. The title of Luo Feng and Fengzi has also been displayed. During this period, Luo Feng also heard that someone had slaughtered beast soldiers and monster generals in City 003. Both of them were called crazy, but Luo Feng didn't think about Qin Tian. After all, it is known from others that the person in City 003 has at least the strength of a senior general. A stable daily pack of 300 advanced beast soldiers and 4 junior beast generals, 2 intermediate beast generals, and 1 advanced beast general. The people in the supply base at number 003 were stunned. Killing like Qin Tian, with a monthly income of billions, is not a problem. In fact, this is not Qin Tian killing, but Qin Tian's clone. Qin Tian is only responsible for collecting monster materials and exchanging them for funds. On that day, as usual, Qin Tian returned to the base city and suddenly saw an emergency broadcast appearing above the base city. Rat Tide. The Rat Tide in the original plot. Luo Feng is still in the county town of 0201, it seems that a war god will die this time. However, with my clone present, there shouldn't be any problems this time. Yes, when Qin Tian went to the wilderness alone to experience, he sent 2 clones to follow Luo Feng. These 2 clones are for cultivating physical fitness, so they will not affect Qin Tian's cultivation speed. And Qin Tian equipped the 2 clones with 16S level flying knives. Qin Tian glanced at it but ignored it. After all, with the help of 2 high-level war god level spiritual masters, it was not easy to save a young war god level Lu Gang. October 29th. Qin Tian, as usual, came to the park in the community, wearing loose exercise clothes and strolling along. How time flies. Qin Tian sighed as he basked in the warm sunshine. The rat tide incident has been going on for a few days now. With the help of Qin Tian's clone, Luo Gang did not die, he just suffered some injuries. However, Luo Feng is truly the son of Qi Luck. As soon as the rat tide passed, the 9 thunder knife broke through to the 3rd level. Afterwards, Luo Feng celebrated with the members of the Fire Hammer Squad and decided to venture into City 003. Qin Tian did not express anything. This is something that Luo Feng must go through. While Qin Tian can help with some growth, Qin Tian cannot directly help with some things. I should also move on to the next step. The next day, Qin Tian handed over 2 advanced beast level materials. After updating my identity level to Advanced General. Then I went to the city of 003. At this point, on the other side, Luo Feng and the Fire Hammer Squad also began their training in City 003. Qin Tian wandered aimlessly in the city. Strange, where has Luo Feng gone? He has been searching for a long time, and no one can see him. Ah, I knew earlier that I had installed a positioning device on Luo Feng. Qin Tian casually killed a high-level beast general and said. After walking for a while, Qin Tian sensed movement ahead and quickly headed. I saw this scene in the dark. The 2 sides are facing each other, with the body of a double-headed black snake in the middle. Huh, Gao Feng, did you receive the goods well? You even teamed up with the Indians. TSK, but it's really rare for you to kill this double-headed black line snake. The captain of the Tiger Tooth team sneered. If you're interested, get out of here quickly. Even if you eat the prey that the Thunder Squad is interested in, you'll have to spit it out. Oh, by the way, you may not know yet. Mr. Lu is the captain of the Thunder Squad, and Mr. Kalong is the deputy captain. Qin Tian looked at this scene and thought to himself. Is this unfortunate? Coincidentally collided. Xiaofeng, I'm worried about your safety, big brother. You cannot acknowledge my elder brother's status. At this moment, the old man surnamed Lu and a strong white man, a blonde mixed-race man, walked out from behind the 2 and glanced at Luo Feng and others. This is my first time coming to City 003, and the prey belongs to me. You can leave now. The mixed-race youth smiled and said. The bald Indian leader on Luo Feng's side shouted directly at the mixed-race youth. This is ours. Suddenly, a bullet shot from a building far to the left of Qin Tian, directly breaking the leg of the Indian leader. Then the person wanted to continue shooting, but was hit by a bullet fired from the building to Qin Tian's right. Interesting, Qin Tian said softly as he touched his chin. At this moment, Luo Feng stood up. Don't forget, my brother's sniper rifle is also aimed at you. Suddenly, the atmosphere on the field became solemn. Sniper rifle. A few people looked around at the buildings, but couldn't see anyone at all. It was because they couldn't see that they were afraid. Heavy sniper rifles can generally barely threaten junior-level monsters. But monsters and humans are different, human power is strong. The defense ability of skin muscles is much weaker than that of monster fur scales, but why do human warriors wear combat uniforms? The ultimate warrior-level warrior, if not killed by being shot, is also seriously injured. However, sniper rifles pose a much less threat to high-level warriors. As for the God of War level, sniper rifles no longer threaten the God of War. And that mixed-race youth happens to be an intermediate-level warrior. Why are you here to get in the way? The mixed-race youth pointed at Luo Feng and angrily said. Regarding this, Luo Feng only responded coldly, saying, a warrior should not snatch the fruits of others. The old man surnamed Lu pondered for a moment. Speaking to the mixed-race youth next to him. Young master, since you're coming here to hone your skills, you'd better deal with those monsters yourself. At this moment, the captain of the Huya team looked at the old man surnamed Lu and wanted to say something more. As a result, the gray-haired old man surnamed Lu only gave him a cold glance, and the captain of the tiger-toothed team immediately remained silent. The mixed-race youth looked at the old man, then at the white man, and the white man nodded. "Alright, let's go." The mixed-race youth nodded helplessly and gave Luo Feng a resentful look in his eyes. Before leaving, the members of the Huya team could only reluctantly glance at Gao Feng. Luo Feng and others, along with Zhang Zihu, cursed softly. "Luo Feng, you're lucky, kid." It seems that Zhang Zihu's disgust towards Luo Feng cannot be let go anymore. Qin Tian thought of it. Qin Tian arrived at the top of the resting building where the Fire Hammer squad was located. Perceiving their conversation through spiritual power. And attach spiritual power to Luo Feng. Currently, Luo Feng's spiritual strength is not as strong as that of a medium war god, and he cannot detect Qin Tian. In addition, this Qin Tian is not his true self, but a clone of Qin Tian. It is just that Qin Tian's consciousness has entered and is being manipulated. The true deity of Qin Tian is in the base city. This is just the same part of Qin Tian. "Captain, Brother Chen." The Fire Hammer squad looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng couldn't help but clench his fists and grit his teeth, saying in a low voice, "I've never forgotten Zhang's grudges. I swore a long time ago that once I encounter these miscellaneous members of the Tiger Tooth squad in the wilderness, I'll destroy them." "Luo Feng, what do you mean?" Gao Feng was surprised. "I'm planning to secretly follow over and find an opportunity to kill all the members of the Tiger Tooth squad. Since they have the intention to destroy us, of course we must take action first." Luo Feng couldn't forget the 2 sniper bullets he had in the 0201 county town, one of which was barely escaped by his own mental strength. The other one ruined Zhang Ke's right hand. "Luo Feng, I'll go with you." Lao Zhang's revenge must be avenged, Chen Gu gritted his teeth. "Brother Chen, I'm the most confident about going," Luo Feng whispered. "I have spiritual and mental abilities. Even if I encounter the god of war, it's not a big deal. By flying, I can still escape." This is the terrifying aspect of being a spiritual thinker. Even if the god of war is 10 times or 100 times stronger than them, a weak spiritual and mental power can still fly. Apart from spiritual minders, only those who transcend the god of war can fly. "Chen Gu, what Luo Feng said makes sense. Going is just a burden." Gao Feng whispered. Chen Gu gritted his teeth and the captain said something unpleasant, but he knew that the captain was doing him good. "And we want to eliminate the Tiger Tooth squad, why doesn't the Tiger Tooth squad want to eliminate us?" Gao Feng said in a low voice. "We found out about their plot against us last time, and of course they don't want us to grow. But they haven't encountered us in the wilderness area, and this time they have encountered us. They probably will also take action." Everyone present was shocked in their hearts. Yes, with the way the Tiger Tooth team works, they will never be allowed to grow. "Anyway, we've hunted enough monsters this time, and we can't even put our backpacks down. Let's go back to the supply base for the rest of our team first." Gao Feng spoke up and then looked at Luo Feng. "Luo Feng, you are a spiritual master. Your ability to escape life in this city is many times stronger than ours. However, you still need to be careful and don't be careless." Luo Feng nodded. While speaking, Chen Gu also held a telescope and observed the whereabouts of the Thunder Squad. They entered the Jinjiang Chain Hotel, Chen Gu exclaimed excitedly. "It seems like they want to use that as a temporary stronghold. It's not too late, let's go now." Gao Feng said decisively. Luo Feng also stood up and bid farewell to the captain and the others. "Luo Feng, be careful." The Fire Hammer squad, consisting of Gao Feng and 4 others, looked at Luo Feng. Qin Tian looked at this scene and thought to himself. "Oh. Are you ready to go solo again? That's right, others will only become the protagonist's burden, and Luo Feng will grow up alone more often. As for the Huya team, Qin Tian never cared about it from beginning to end. He only remembered the original work, where Luo Feng became enemies with the Huya team and involved Li Yao's son. Qin Tian did not intend to help Luo Feng solve this problem. Only when there is pressure can there be motivation. Only in this way can Luo Feng grow rapidly, and what he needs to do is to exploit Luo Feng's potential. By the way, I can salvage some regrets. End of this chapter.